Little bit of a audio mishap there, but like I was saying earlier, I'm Eki in the booth with BBL. Welcome to the spring 2025 Seasonalander first day of the event. This is a kind of a custom yet familiar sort of event. It's Highlander, so one. Geez Louise, I can't speak today. One player on each class. And in the sense that it's a little bit custom, we've got some new maps for you. We've got Conveyance, Neotropic, and Divulgence. These first two maps are going to be King of the Hill, and the second map is, or the third map rather, is going to be Payload. We're going to be starting the day off with the Bonk Boys versus the amazing Digital Mercs on, I believe this is Conveyance. So going to be having a Hoth map as our first game of the day. But don't worry about these first two games, or I guess the only two games that we will be looking at today. This isn't the only day of the event. We've also got tomorrow where we will be doing playoffs, doing the upper and lower brackets, and then you'll be able to watch some fantastic grand finals gameplay. But all that said, let's get into the real meat and taters of this event, what it's all about. This season, Seasonalander is fundraising for the Starlight Children's Foundation. It helps children who have been hospitalized. It gives them games, it gives them hospital wear, it gives them toys, it gives them things that a kid kind of needs to be able to have some kind of sense of normalcy while in an environment as unfamiliar as a hospital, in a very stressful environment as well. But I think that's enough talking out of me. Again, I'm in the booth with BBL. How are you feeling about these upcoming games?
Oh, I'm very excited. Thanks for having me, by the way. I don't know a good portion of these players, but I do know quite a few. It's going to be interesting to see how the more experienced players, at least in terms of like a Highlander or like a competitive scale, like influence how they play on these newer maps. I personally haven't seen any of these maps before, so I'm very excited to see how they adapt and how how this first match goes. Very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking pretty forward to it as well. It's not often that I cast a Highlander game, so I always look forward to it though. Highlander's a lot of action. It's very quick sometimes, but it also slows down, and like you can get real methodical with Highlander much more than you can with sixes in my experience. Sixes usually you just kind of throw yourself at a wall all the time and hope something works, but with Highlander you have that kind of time to slow down. But
Yeah, Highlander is definitely more in my neck of the woods, so
yeah.
it's gonna be good.
Well, good thing I've got you in here with me then, because I'm a little clueless when it comes to Highlander and how things function in that regard. But I do want to take a quick look at these rosters just before things start going down. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and steal away the amazing digital mercs from you. Starting off with your scout, you're gonna have the one and only Freddy 210 Hill. On Soldier, you are going to have G Magnum. Your Pyro will be Shule. Your Demo will be Scary Broccoli. Your Heavy is going to be Pale B. Your NG will be the man, the myth, the legend, Engineer Gaming Live. Your Med will be Toasty Jakey. Your Sniper is going to be Paul Purr. And your Spy will be Mayabon.
And then looking at the Bonk Boys here for Scout, we have a sub in. It's going to be J Puck instead of Brickiest Brick. Unfortunately, couldn't make it. For his Soldier, you have PK Beats. Pyro's Deputy 7. Demo Man is Windexian, I believe is how you pronounce that. Heavy of Grape Juice. Engineer is Cypherlock. Medic is Gumsy. Sniper is Peanut. And Spy is Stabs.
All right. I feel like I recognize the name Stabs from somewhere, but I'm not sure where I recognize it from. he streams on Twitch or something, does he not? I feel like that's where I recognize him
I've seen
from.
in one of his most common aliases is a Twitch link, so it could be that. I
Ah,
also
that's
know there
probably
are quite
why.
a few spy players that like to take that moniker, so it might also be a bit of that.
Yeah,
I
it
played
might
with
be
multiple.
a case of like mistaken identity or something. But yeah, I don't really recognize many players in these rosters. I mean, obviously, I recognize Grape Juice. I recognize Freddy 210 Hill, Engineer Gaming Live, Shule, but everyone else is pretty much new to me. Not too familiar with them, which, you know what? I kind of like not being familiar with the players I'm casting. It adds a sense of it adds a sense of whimsy, if you will. Everything can just anything can happen. You're not expecting anything specific from any players. So I'm
Not sure who the
excited
stars are going to
to
be today, so to speak.
yeah. I'm excited to see these guys just kind of duke it out on the point and see what's gonna happen here.
No, definitely for sure. It definitely looking at the rosters, it's going to be the battle between Scary Broccoli and Grape Juice. Grape Juice, I mean, amazing sixes player, guy has placed multiple times in Invite. Scary Broccoli was able to make playoffs Invite in Highlander this season, and he is currently on his main. Demo is his most played class. Shalel also being a part of that combo. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Bonk Boys deal with that. I really feel if the amazing digital mercs are going to win this one, it's going to be off the back of their combo. So it'll be I'm really curious to see how they play around it. Of course, I know Cypherlock has played a bit of Highlander. Same thing goes with PK Beats. I know he placed in main this season, I believe. So there's definitely some um history or sort of like a resume with some of these players. But like I said, the combo for the Amazing Digital Mercs is definitely going to be the reason they win if they take it home for this first game. So we're starting on what map are we starting on again?
I think we're on Conveyance for our first map
I was
of
going
the
to say,
day.
trying to look around it. This is very interesting, way bigger than any of the Koth maps, at least I really see in like the regular rotation season to season. So wonder how they're going to be playing off of it. Trying to figure out how like my brain would interpret it immediately, but definitely a bunch of different ways they could play it. Um, yeah, very
Mhm.
excited.
Yeah, it it's kind of giving me like Proot vibes in a way. Now, granted, I played Proot a grand total of one time, so I'm not too familiar with the layout, but it kind of is giving me that sort of vibe. There's no like big building like right next to a to the point or anything. It's kind of separated from it. It is just kind of a slope into the point. So it's like a mixture of like product and Proot, I feel. But
No, I like that Proot comparison looking at the map, especially with like the major buildings. I'm assuming is where the combos are going to be oriented. It's definitely not as I'd say it's slightly less claustrophobic than Proot is, at least from my experience on the map. But um, I mean, anything goes, especially in this game. I'm noticing bonus ducks keep appearing on the ground. I don't know if the game is currently on stream or if it's something else, but like I am, it's like it's like my favorite. I'm already like enthralled to see what's about to go down. I haven't seen this config before, so I don't know if there's going to be anything popping out of the blue that I haven't seen before.
that makes two of us. I have no idea if there's going to be anything new showing up as well. You know, interestingly enough, I have never seen these duck models before with all the different classes on them. I have never seen those until just now. This is my first time laying eyes on these bonus duck models. So I'm thinking something interesting is going to happen when we include these ducks, but maybe there won't. Who knows? They could just be there to throw us for a loop. Who knows?
Possibly. And I was going to say, second map is PL Divulge. Looking at the schedule here, I definitely think if the Bonk Boys are going to be winning this series, that's going to be based off of their Koth play. I feel that like combo advantage that I was talking about before is going to be even more exacerbated on payload maps with how like slower they can be, less DM oriented, more coordination focused. Especially having like relatively experienced, like a very experienced main color on your team on demo is going to help out a lot with that. So I think if Bonk Boys are going to win this, it's going to be off their Koth play. So and considering their most experienced player is on heavy, I wonder how they're going to be playing around that. Um, in IM this season, I don't know if you've seen them at all. There's the Guangdong Tigers. They ran like a 70%
Ah,
beam heavy like the entire season. I wonder if we're going to be seeing a bit of that, but in
good old Guangdong.
the Highlander aspect of
Uh,
things. But yeah, I think we have everyone in server besides one player on Bunk Boys, so should be starting soonish. Anything you've
yeah.
noticed besides what we've mentioned, or
Um, Not really. I mean, it is just the pregame, so it's kind of hard to tell what these guys are going to actually play like, just based off of what they're doing. It looks like Shulel, though, very proficient with those debt jumps. I can already tell. I think we're going to be seeing some crazy pyro plays coming from the amazing digital mercs. But it also could just be me not being very experienced with the debt jumper. With the debt jumps. Maybe these are like really easy and I'm just bad. Who
no? I'm
knows?
a I'm a I'm a Sholil fan through and through. Big played a number of pugs with that guy. He'll definitely show us something. I'm very excited.
Mm.
I've said that word like 5 times now. Trying to find different adjectives for how I'm feeling. But yeah, I mean, just waiting on them coming in here. I was gonna say I saw EU just a little bit before NA started. I don't know how many people in like the chat or if you saw any of the EU game, but I literally only tabbed in for 2 minutes and saw a holiday punch Uber, and then
Ooh.
immediately tabbed off for like an hour. So I'm wondering how the like silly or like the seriousness we're gonna see out of the teams if we're gonna be seeing something similar. I'm gonna see like buffalo steak be pulled out at some point, or like some wacky stuff like that. But um, yeah, again, it looks like we're just waiting on one player from the Bonk Boys. So hopefully, hopefully they figure that out. I don't know if it's an internet issue or something else. I haven't noticed anything in chat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, things happen. Sometimes you gotta roll with the delay. But you were talking about Guangdong Tigers earlier. I remember very I don't want to say a very long time ago, but it was a decent time ago where one of the players on Guangdong ended up paying Banny for like a demo
Oh
review of
yes.
one of their games and he live streamed it on Twitch and everybody was just like it was the most chaotic like demo review I think I'd ever laid
There
my
was a
eyes on.
GoFundMe for that to get the
Yeah,
money to pay Danny.
yeah.
They did a GoFundMe, and I was in there was like a watch party, and was in like the my personal server. We had like, or it was either in there or like I know Train's the TL for that team. It might have been in his server, but point is like 11 people in a Discord call watching Danny try and like like metagame the like heavy Ubers for like
Yeah.
2 hours.
It's like it
So
was perma heavy too, so he's just sitting there. He's like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?"
well, I mean, he sat for like 30 minutes afterwards, if I remember correctly, trying to go over how to play heavy on a gully wash, I
Yeah,
believe, and it was like I couldn't believe what I was watching. I mean,
I like.
if I get paid to do a demo review, I'm gonna do whatever I can. But like,
Yeah, I mean, if I get paid to do a demo review, they're paying good. I mean, if they pay me at all, really, I'll explain whatever they need explained. But like, I still can't believe we got to watch Banny of all people try and like explain to this team how to run perma heavy on Gully Wash and like have success with it in a GoFundMe demo review. But I do think we have the final player for the Bonk Boys in the server. So now it's just a matter of time until these teams are up. I mean, we're ready, so it is
yeah, do we
just
know
up to them.
if it's what its first two is? A first two, three, four? Do we know what
I
the best of is?
believe it's a best of three because we have the Hoth and then the payload, and then we have a third map for a tiebreaker.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I was gonna say I didn't know if they were doing a playoff format where it was like first to four with Koth, which definitely would have been a one. Definitely would have been a little wild, but best 2 out of 3 definitely makes sense considering the event. Yeah, just waiting on each team to ready up. I was just trying to see if there's any like secrets on the map. I know for like one of the payload maps in Highlander Vigil, there's like a duck hidden in like every like corner. Like each class has its own duck model, right? So there's like
Oh.
each one of them like hidden in the map. So I'm trying to see if I can find something. Doesn't seem to be the case.
You've inspired me to start hunting around for some secrets on the map as well, but I can't really. I can't
'Cause,
seem
I
to
mean, the
find
most common one
anything.
is like the dog bread and product. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why it's called that in the first place. So I was wondering if maybe the map dev added something to it. Don't think I've seen anything though.
Yeah, I don't know if the map creator of Conveyance added any cool Easter eggs for us to find or for the players to find at any point. So unfortunate, but that is the way it goes. You know, what can you do? Um, but yeah, like I said earlier, we are just kind of waiting for these players to hit the Ruppington button and get their game on and start duking it out with one another on Conveyance. Again, our first map of this potentially 3 map series. But yeah, uh, I'm
Let's also hit a
again,
bit of a
I'm pretty excited.
milestone. If you I know I think we might have hit a certain number goal, a certain donation amount for
Oh,
the charity. Might have gotten
have
past a
we?
certain magical number, possible
What is this
giveaway occurring.
magical number?
Oh, meant to. Okay, wait, no, I sorry. Production was telling me. Okay, I got it. So we got past $1,000 for the charity. Which is insane. That is like
Oof.
it's very cool how like what's a relatively smaller, I'd say, community is still able to do like that much. Like good for people in need and stuff. So I'm pretty sure there's a giveaway for a grenade or like a dream piped iron bomber or grenade launcher, something along those lines. More info for that will be given soon, and as soon as me or actually hear about that, we'll be sure to let you know. But yeah, no, I'm very happy to to see that. I
Yeah.
have there's a local charity near me. They do something very similar. They go to like children's hospitals and like donate a bunch of like games or help like organize like the meeting like celebrities and stuff, stuff like that. Anyways, it looks like we're going to be starting, so take it away.
Yeah, we are now going to be going live. This is map 1 on Conveyance, the amazing digital mercs on red and the Bonk Boys on blue. Players are rolling out. This actually looks like a relatively long rollout, but it looks like Broccoli going to be the first one on the mid, but isn't really netting that much damage. Does look like PKB. It's going to be bombing forward already on the height. One nice rocket, but does get reflected. Will go down. Shulel going to be able to find that pick. Windex will find some picks as well. Peanut going to be able to find Mayabon, but Grape Juice also going to be going down to the hands of Paul. Looks like J-Puck dying as well, but Broccoli takes a bullet from Peanut, finally getting taken down by Shulel. And it looks like Paul finally dying. Stab's going to be able to land that backstab, but will get traded out by Freddy. Does look like potentially that the amazing digital mercs, while it's not a very confident win, they're going to be able to set themselves up and get a lot of time, a little bit more than they shouldn't have, or than they should have, rather.
For sure. And I mean, at least you get the consolation prize if you're the Bonk Boys. You do have that Uber ad. Approximately 60% they're going to be getting Uber now, so hopefully we'll see them try and take that in soon. All of them seem to be bunching around behind the house, but they're going to be Sweeney taking the Uber and on the heavy and demo, not able to really get anyone besides Engineer Gaming. They also get the heavy, and Toasty Jakey goes down, so they are able to get the med pick. We'll see if they're able to keep their med up, but relatively solid push coming out from the Bonk Boys, and they should be able to cap this relatively easily. Grape Juice going down at the end there is going to make it a little more difficult. Probably wouldn't want to delay him, but we'll see what happens, and they delay heavy, delay demo, but are able to cap the point and slide out off of it.
Yeah, I think delaying your heavy and delaying your demo there isn't too terrible. Obviously, you don't want to in any circumstance. It's the most ideal, but they had so much ad. I think they were just like, you know what? We'll rip it. But Stabs is getting himself into position, is going up towards the spawn. Probably going to go for just getting the telly zapped or something. But no, he's actually decloaking. Is going to get in behind. Jakey will get the backstab. G Magnum and Scary Broccoli going to go down as well. Gumsy Stabs both going to die here, but Peanut will trade out Stabs with Mayabon, and they will manage to hold on to player ad. Does look like the amazing Digital Merc's going to have to be pushing down their spy and their sniper, and as Highlander players I'm sure know, it is very much a it is the sniper game mode at times. But Deputy going to be running forward, will take down Jolene, or Pale B rather, and will get traded out by Freddy. Looks like the amazing Digital Mercs, once they get themselves a foothold on the point, big bomb coming in from G Magnum, but will crater as they take either a bullet or a pipe up in the air. Mayabon gonna go down here to the hands of Windex. Sentry going down on the side of Bonk Boys, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be wanting to push anytime soon. I mean, they're being very, very slow, but they actually managed to find Freddy, and they also managed to find Paul. So, in the same moment I say they don't want to push, they're finally getting themselves up on top of the point. They tried to be slow with it, and they were successful, but the Uber will be coming out from the side of the amazing Digital Mercs. They're going to be running forward. They're going to be able to find Gumsy. No beam alive for the side of the Bonk Boys now, so they've got to try and turn this into some kind of salvage, potentially, or maybe get their spy in as soon as they can once Stabs comes up. But that's a pretty big Uber from the side of the amazing Digital Mercs. Gonna net them a lot of time.
No, for sure. I mean, it definitely a battle of attrition there near the end, but off of that Uber, able to get 4, and they have the positioning, and they have Uber. I didn't really lose anyone major or have any delays. Peanut is going to be going down off of the step from Mayabon, getting traded out, and Grape Juice also going down. Might be an issue here for the Bonk Boys, but Scary Broccoli also is going down to Windex, so it looks like they should be able to edge the point out. Amazing Digital Mercs being down 4 here, having a slight bit of ad, so they should be able to re-push in soon, but it looks like they're going to lose the point. They have 30 seconds of time ad, but I don't know if we really want to trade that out. Toasty Jakey going down to the bomb from BK Beats! Holy, that was delayed by a couple of seconds, but Jesus!
I mean, that's a huge bomb for the Bonk Boys to have. Especially with their current situation. They were down a good chunk of time, but they're going to be able to recoup it. They're going to be able to get it all back, and potentially, I don't even think it's potentially, I think they just will net themselves a good chunk of time at it, especially with Gumsy at 90% Uber, so they're ready to take on any threat that may come their way. They are down Cypherlock, and they are down Peanut here, so no sniper is a little scary, but they're going to rip that Uber. They're going to be pushing in from the far left side, will be pushing up this kind of valley area. They're going to be able to find Paul. The sentries from Engineer Gaming will go down, but they're not quite able to find any more picks beyond the sniper for the side of Bonk Boys. So they're going to have to peel back. They're going to have to play around the incoming Uber from Jakey. Peanut will be able to find the body shot onto Freddy, but he will get traded out as Maya finds Deputy 7. Looks like the amazing Digital Mercs going to be ripping it over the point again, doing the same exact thing that we just saw Bonk Boys do. Gumsy is going to be able to retreat into that bunker, though, and will manage to stay alive. So this is pretty much a nothing burger for the side of the amazing Digital Mercs, and their health is very, very low, so they really need to peel back and regroup if they want any chance of kind of winning this point and winning this round.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to get it at the end there. I wasn't a huge fan of the solo Uber on the demo there. I felt like if you're able to get anyone else in, that would have been infinitely better. But they do get the point nonetheless. 25 seconds on the clock for the amazing Digital Mercs. Gumsy just respawns, and Peanut goes down in the back to Freddy here, to Freddy. So it looks like this last push, they're going to be down their sniper. He's only going to be up at the very end. Swinging from the right side, it looks like. Slowly peeking their heavy. Not really much happening. There's 10 seconds on the clock. They need to get on this point.
Bonk Boys really needs to get themselves on top of this point, but I think they have the window too. They're going in now, but the Uber coming out from the amazing Digital Mercs are going to be running across, but it's Jakey getting air blasted by Deputy. The Uber's completely cut off. Bonk Boys is going to be about halfway on that cap. It looks like Scary Broccoli going to be thrown into the stratosphere, almost dying to that crater. Will die to Deputy. The Bonk Boys able to manage a full team wipe. Deputy doing so much for his team there, stuffing that Uber so well. Looks like this might go into a double overtime situation. Freddy gonna go down now as PK finds a rocket, stabs, will get taken down by the Bread Bite. G Magnum, it looks like the amazing Digital Mercs trying to just dive onto the point, but it looks like Bonk Boys too good at absorbing it right there. They will be able to convert the first round, giving themselves that 1-round lead.
They've been able to play around their heavy very well here. And in these pushes, again, I'm noticing that they're having a lot more people in there. Honestly, I wasn't expecting them to get that, to win that second to last fight, but they're able to... I don't know what really happened with the Mercs' Uberage. I definitely feel like it should have gotten more, and it looks like the fight's going to be happening on point here. Mid's going to be going down. PK beats with Freddy trade out, but it looks like no picks besides that are happening. Mercs also lose their soldier, but again, not much is happening from either side. It looks like Bonk Boys should be able to edge the point out. The Mercs kind of just gave up the point. They lost their scout and don't really seem to be swinging. Scary Broccoli's trying to take a 1v9, is able to get the Pyro Deputy on the side of Bonk Boys, but Bonk Boys are able to cap it. Uber's being relatively even, and we'll see how they're able to push it up here. Trying to kill Grape Juice, but he's getting absolutely tanked by his medic. Ubers are going to be coming out here soon. 90% on both sides.
Yeah, the Ubers are in the equation. Does look like the amazing Digital Mercs will have to use to get out here, but no! He gets taken down! There's no beam alive for the amazing Digital Mercs anymore. They dropped, I'm not sure to what they dropped. Maybe the heavy, I
think it was the heavy in the demo. It looked like the second the combo swung, the medic was at 99%. The second he got Uber, he didn't react in time and kind of just blew up, and now it's full ad for the side of Bonk Boys. This is looking... I'm hoping they can run some kind of sack wave here, play off the spy, see if you could get the med forced out. But it's looking really good for the side of Bonk Boys. Toasty Jakey going down to J-Puck in the background, okay. I might need to be paying attention a little more to the side of Fred's medic, because I'm just paying attention to see how they're setting up the sack, but they're losing their medic. So, I mean, at this point, your life no longer matters. It's you got a 9-man on the point, see if you're able to get the medic out. But he drops in the background. While I was yapping about trying to, like, push in, he just dies, so... the amazing Digital Mercs should be able to, once they get their players, have somewhat of a normal push. Definitely very scrappy fights that we've been seeing the past couple of interactions, with meds dropping to seemingly nothing.
Yeah, these fights are definitely nail biters. I mean, they really are swinging in any direction. There is no telling which fight will end up in whose favor, really. But going into this next fight that I think the amazing Digital Mercs wanted to initiate, they're going to lose Pale B very, very early. They'll also lose Toasty Jakey on the side of the amazing Digital Mercs. Does look like Bonk Boys going to be much more in a much more advantageous position. They have so many picks going in their favor, and it looks like Toasty Jakey may just go down again as PK Beats is going deep, chasing hard, trying to get the kill, but will not be able to land that final rocket. And it looks like, for the time being, Jakey will survive for the moment. But Bonk Boys is sitting at 95% Uber, looking to absorb or potentially even take something aggressive and maintain the 3 minutes of time ad they have. But I think Mayavon is waving his little finger. He's saying, no, 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 I do not agree to this, because he's trying to get himself into position to get that backstab. But he's been found out, goes for the decloak, is taken down, and now 4 players down for the side of the amazing Digital Mercs. They're not going to be able to get themselves on the point for another probably 10-15 seconds, so it will go to overtime most likely.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Uber coming out here at the end, I'm not really a huge fan of. Stabs was able to get that ambassador pick on Toasty Jakey. The amazing Digital Mercs just kind of have 5 and a little ball on point, and they lose their medic due to it. 5 seconds remaining, so we're going to be going in overtime, but they're going to have to, the amazing Digital Mercs are going to really have to pull something out here if they want anything to happen. It's going to be an absolute shredding Grape Juice. A little bit of a meet the heavy moment, meet the medic type moment, my apologies, with the immediate 4K there, everyone having to run into him to try and keep the point, but it's going to be 2-0 for the side of Bonk Boys. It's going to be first to 3 here, it looks like, so this is match point. The amazing Digital Mercs are going to have to reverse sweep if they want to win this map.
Yeah, the amazing Digital Mercs kind of have to play this perfectly now if they want to see a big dubski on a conveyance, or at least get a round converted so that they don't face a 3-0 blowout. But I think they're more than capable. Very early on, though, Broccoli going to eat a rocket. Pyro doing their hardest to try and prevent the soldier from getting a big bomb. PK Beats will not be able to find any kills there as Shulil is able to take them down. It does look like the Amazing Digital Mercs, though, being down 4 players now, just aren't able to really gather themselves and push in. J-Puck going to be able, with the help of Stabs, to take down G Magnum, so that's another player down for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs. They're not going to be able to push and maybe send a soldier in for a good while. Looks like Peanut actually peeking pretty deep, trying to get something. Maya decloaks, but is spotted by Grape Juice, and this is not looking great for the Digital Mercs right now. They have to push into full Uber disad. Grape Juice does go down, though. Scary Broccoli going to be able to land the sticky. Freddy will be dying as well to the hands of PK Beats in the backline. But the Uber comes out from the side of Bonk Boys. They're going to try and rip it. Scary Broccoli and Paul both going to be taken down. And now Jakey and Shulil going to be taken down. G Magnum dead as well. It's brutal as Paleby falls to Stabs. It's nuclear as the
See, this is what I'm talking about with the
Mercs.
Ubers, though. Sorry to interrupt for just a second, but they got their soldier and they got their demo in at the same time. Like, the Amazing Digital Mercs are in a 2x2 square box, and there's no way to deny that if you're the Pyro, really anyone on the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, and they just explode to the soldier and demo there. Amazing collapse from the side of Bonk Boys. I definitely feel like they're a little more prepared for this match. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get used to the tempo of the Meds dying here. I'm not really used to this amount of just dropping from the side of both Meds. Hopefully they, especially the Amazing Digital Mercs, keep them up a little more. Ubers are relatively even, very slight add for the side of red for the side of the Mercs here, so we'll see if they're able to convert off of that. But again, their biggest issue, at least in my brain immediately, has been their Ubers. Grape Juice going down means the Bonk Boys are down 3. They're probably going to have to give this up. Great swing coming in from the heavy, and the entire side of the Amazing Digital Mercs get the point. Spike coming in the background now is not able to get anything, though, so they're going to be able to cap it, but they're down 1.5 minutes, so we'll see how they're able to get that time back, if at all.
Yeah, the Amazing Digital Mercs gonna have to play this pretty well. They can afford to lose the point a handful of times, but as soon as it goes into that kind of sub 30 seconds territory, or even sub 40 seconds territory, they have to play it perfectly. It's gonna be an Uber exchange happening on top of the point, as it is a significantly better Uber for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs. They're going to have a little bit of extra percentage to try and run away, but Grape Juice is going to be able to find 2 picks there. Does look like, though, the Amazing Digital Mercs are on the winning side of that fight. I do believe Maya almost gets caught out by Grape Juice here, but will manage to run away. The Amazing Digital Mercs has more players alive, but they will not actually be able to push in. They actually lose a couple more players. Scary Broccoli going to be able to find Grape Juice at the tail end of that fight, but unfortunately, there's nothing they can really do to get their bodies on the point, but they've kind of evened it out in such a way that it prevents Bonk Boys from being able to cap as well. So they're going to, at the bare minimum, be able to even out the time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Bonk Boys are down 5 right now. They do have the level 3 gun in the background. That's a bit of a signature from Cypherlock, but it's not really going to be much help. Unfortunately, drop possibly coming in from the side of Stabs, trying to get out the medic! Apologies for peeking my mic a little bit there, but a bit of the sidestep. Getting the drop with Tosi Jakey is going to be the momentum killer, possibly for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, being down almost their entire combo as well. Now their entire combo. And Bonk Boys should be able to keep this, get this point here, as long as they're able to keep Gumsy up, as long as they're able to keep their beam and slight add. This should be good. Oh. Possible? No.
How does he get
Broccoli is like
there?
right in the front of this medic, though. I'm trying to see if Gumsy's going to be able to live, and it looks like he's able to. Not really taking nearly as much damage as I thought. And yeah, the Mercs are down 5. They're going to have to go back to step 1. I'm still thinking about that stab.
Yeah. I don't know how Stabs was able to get that kill onto Paul. He did get spotted by Engineer Gaming Live, so it is kind of a bit odd that he was able to run through. Maybe the team just wasn't able to, throw their mouse 180 degrees fast enough and take him down. But they did get him eventually, so at least it's, it's not all for nothing. They managed to trade out, but with the timer reaching, or almost reaching, that 30-second mark, the Amazing Digital Mercs needs to pull themselves together if they want to be able to get a round on the board. Stabs getting in position. Decloaks is going straight for Jakey. He's healing Stabs!
Wait, hold on. The acting classes are superb! And yet again, another side stab from the side of Blue Spy here. Stabs yet again, getting Toasty Jakey. 10 seconds remaining. The Uber did come out early, though, from the side of Bonk Boys, so there is a possibility. Mayabon trying to get a stab at on Grape Juice is able to get it after beefing a couple of times there. And it looks like the Mercs are able to get it off of the side of the early use from Bonk Boys, but it's going to be overtime. If the Bonk Boys cap in this next minute, it's going to be over and we're going to be seeing the next map.
Yeah, I think the Amazing Digital Mercs, while their med did die there, at least the Ubers are relatively even. They don't have Broccoli alive and likely won't have Broccoli alive, at least when the next fight starts. So being down your demo when a lot of that damage is coming out is going to be very inconvenient, to say the least. Stab's going to be able to find Freddy. Will get traded out by G Magnum, but Paul going down as well. It's going to be Pale B, G Magnum dying. There's a lot of players dead for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs. They've only got 4 players alive, now 3 players as Jakey now goes down. It's brutal, it's nuclear, it's a wipe for the Amazing Digital Mercs, and Bonk Boys are going to take home conveyance.
I was expecting. Oh, I mean, the rounds were relatively close. We saw double overtime in the first round, and the Mercs were able to get it down by 16 seconds. So the score is a little deceptive on how close that game was. But really a bit of a disconnect from, it feels like Scary Broccoli and the rest of his combo. Kind of, again, a lot of the, like, Ubers that I was talking about before, we were seeing a lot of coordination and, like, collapsing coming in from the side of Bonk Boys with their soldier, with their spy, etc. Stabs in the background, kind of turning Toasty Jakey, just throwing him back into the spawn room a little more than you would like if you're on trying to root for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs. But very good plays coming out from Bonk Boys, and it looks like we're gonna be going to Divergence. So I need to pull up that log. I need to see something.
Yeah, I need to see that log. But while we're pulling up that log, I want to mention for people that maybe haven't noticed or are just tuning in, we did reach the $1,000 goal to be giving away a strange Sweet Dreams grenade launcher or Dream Pipe grenade, whatever it's called. It's strange. It's a good skin. And you can type !join in chat to enter the giveaway and have a chance to win it. Again, !join to get in on that. But I have found the log here. I don't know if you have it already.
No, I have. I was going to say Scary Broccoli versus the World in this first leg. 727 DPM while you aren't even able to get around has got to be frustrating from at least his perspective. The biggest theme, though, I would say, is Toasty Jakey dying almost once a minute and only having 4 Ubers dropped multiple times, sub 900 healing. I mean, that's not good for sixes, let alone Highlander when you have 3 extra players to heal. But no, like I said, it definitely... top kills is going to be going to Grape Juice, by the way, 28 and 12 with 419 DPM. J-Puck 25 and 9, and in terms of medic picks, yeah, J-Puck getting 5 and Stabs getting 4 respectively. Again, just a lot more like team play from the side of Bonk Boys here. Definitely feels like the Mercs are leaving Scary Broccoli out to dry a little more than I'd like, but again, we're going to Payload, which is an entirely different ball game. So players are it's a little more difficult to bait your team on Payload with how much more confined it is. So I'm hoping to see a little more back and forth this second map. But no, again, great plays from the side of Bonk Boys. Honestly, I was expecting the Mercs to win that first half. I'm really surprised on how that went. And I mean, that's on me for doubting the Bonk Boys. That's on me. I need to switch which team I'm betting on in the background here.
Well, I wouldn't say it's you doubting. I think it was just your casting intuition, hoping for a good first map and hoping that it would be really close, so the content would be really, really good. But we are moving on to Divulgence. I'm seeing a control point here already. The last time I covered a game of Payload was when I was covering a match of the dreaded P word, Prolander. Don't tell anyone God. I just said that. That
was my first game mode. Fun fact was Prolander.
Really?
Yes, it was.
I've wanted to play Prolander for a while, but RGL hasn't had any Prolander seasons since long before I started playing competitive TF2.
It's like the one
But
word you're not allowed to say. It's like
yeah,
try
it's
to
like
try to wipe it from the memory of anyone who did play it. But yeah, I
he
mean,
whose name shall not be said.
this is a I haven't seen a payload map like this before. There's an elevator here. There's
Yeah, I
a
believe
there's
this is
a
hybrid.
control point. Yeah, I was gonna say similar to what's that one map? Oh, I forgot the one payload map where you're also meant to cap points. It's like
I
a
I
alternative
I
game
can't
mode.
remember it for the
There's
life
only
of
like
me
one
either.
map. Hold on.
I
My
remember
brain is forcing me to figure out which map this is.
I saw a version of Upward when I was playing TF2 Classic at one point that was kind of a, or not Upward, Badwater, that was a hybrid map like this where you had to cap the point and then the payload would come up. I've never actually seen it played in a competitive setting. I don't know if this is like a first time deal, but I don't know. I feel like this will be interesting. I'm guessing the dynamic, at least at the very beginning, where Bonk Boys is going to have to try and push forward and take that point away. It's going to be, I for lack of a better word, I'm going to say it's weird because when's the last time any of these people have played hybrid? You know, like
I was
do you
unless you
do you
screamed
come
for
at
this
it like
cup
it's off?
specifically, you haven't.
Yeah, literally. Like, do you go for the point like it's Koth, or do you treat this like you're pushing last in 5 CP? Like, how do you go about this? I mean, I guess we'll find out when we see the strategies that the Bonk Boys have in store for us. But I can't
I just
imagine what trying to defend that's like either.
Yeah, I was gonna say, trying to get a feel for the map here, looking around. It looks like the only real part that is there seem to be a couple of like artificial points where like sort of think like barn blitz where the cart has to stop for a period of time. Like there's like a
Mm.
turnstile thing I believe on third here. As well as the point that you see. I'm pretty sure the only spot where there is a point though is at the very start. I think, from my understanding, what you're gonna have to cap the point, and then that brings the card up, and then it turns into payload. I think is what I'm
Yeah,
reading here. It's
yeah,
attack defend for the first point, and then it turns into payload.
yeah,
Um, I wonder how aggressive the Mercs are going to decide to hold this first point, though. If this is because in payload, normally the first point is a giveaway for the most part, especially on like Upward and Swiftwater. Vigil, you see a little more like fighting over that first point, but now that it's attack defend at the start, I'm wondering how much fight the Mercs are going to put on this point, or if they're just going to say, screw it, let's just play, standard payload. Let's get over to the second point. Um, I have per map best of three. Okay, so it is best of three. I was trying to figure out if we were just doing one half of payload or if it was going to be the first team to win two halves of payload. I think is what I read from the production crew.
yeah. So
Wait,
we'll
these
we'll just
unboxes
be
are
doing
kind of
it
going
like a
hard. Three purples in a
regular.
row. That veterans attire
Whoa,
is a
wait a
key.
minute. Yeah, that veterans attire is 100% a keep right there. I have one of those on my of my own. I think mine's strange. I unfortunately I didn't unbox it. No Gamba win for me, but it's better to just buy what you want than Gamba.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um
say for me, I'm trying to get out of the addiction of opening CS2 cases. I got a couple
I'm
of
praying
really
for you.
lucky. I've got a couple of really unlucky unboxes. I'm trying to chase that high, and I need to force myself to stop. I was gonna say I got like two $2,000 skins, and then I've just been chasing trying to get a third one, and it's just not happening. I mean, it's only
Fair
one a
enough.
day, at most two a day, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. I've definitely seen worse cases, but it definitely does add
Hmm.
up slowly but surely over time. It
You
looks
gotta
like
start like
both
a
teams have
YouTube
9 in
series.
server though. So, trying to see. I'm assuming it's the delay is people trying to figure out how they even want to play this in the first place. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, I can only imagine like what these guys are thinking. They're like loading into this map for the first time ever. They're like, "All right, what am I looking at here? Where's the payload?" And then they walk over. Which, if you walk over top of the payload elevator, you can't fall through. It's there. I mean, I don't know if it's just a
is
pregame
that
thing.
just the
Maybe you
I
can
was gonna
fall
say, is that a
through.
pregame thing or
I would hope it's like not just a pregame thing because we can treat this like the steel pit and count how many people fall into it, how many souls it claims. But yeah, I mean, for the time being, you're able to just kind of like walk over the yearning abyss that is the payload pit. But
But can you
the
build
real
on that
question
void?
is,
Sorry, go for
I
it.
I wouldn't imagine, but I think the real question is how long does it take for the payload to actually come up? I think is what's gonna determine like, well, at least in part, how hard you can hold this. Because maybe if you lose the point, you can come back in and then reset up your defenses if you get a
Yeah.
good enough wipe on players, and then hold the cart while it's there a little less aggressively. But I mean, that is, to me, that feels entirely dependent on how, fast the cart will come up. If it just shoots up, then it's fine. But it has three. It's numbered, so you got 1, 2, 3. So does it have stages where it comes up and then it stops for a second and then repeats that until it reaches the very top? And then of course you got to wait for the cart to actually move out. So like, I don't know. I mean,
I've
we're
never
seeing
been a
this map
huge
for the first
fan of
time,
like
so.
those like artificial stalls where like the map forces you to wait for a certain period of time. That's what
Mhm.
I'm definitely a fan of, like a little bit of the shorter payload maps that like really like are like for like on defense you really have to get a nice like hold or two, otherwise it's going to be a 3 minute 4 minute cap time. Looks like there are two of those on this map when it comes to, again, like you said, how long it's going to take for that elevator to come up, but also that turnstile, that barn blitz, waiting for the track to actually move over so the car can get through. Never been a huge fan of those. Similar to like I'm wondering if this is going to be a similar speed to like maybe in between Upward and Swiftwater, because there isn't like 5 points. At least there's that, but with how many times you're kind of being forced to wait here, because you can't go too far forward, like in like spawn camp for a minute straight, or at least that isn't realistic. So I'm very curious to see the pace that's set by the Bonk Boys. And also like on a motivation factor, right? You're the Bonk Boys. You're on map point. You win this, you've won the entire match. So I'm wondering like that how this offense goes for the side of Bonk Boys, I think is really going to be the momentum like changer on whether or not the Bonk Boys are able to really take this home confidently, or if we're going to see a bit of pushback from the side of the amazing digital mercs.
I think we're going to see a good chunk of pushback. I feel like this is going to be very, very similar to Vigil. I think this map is like trying to combine like pretty much everything from those two maps. I mean, like, I think we're going to see a hold similar to what you would have on Vigil, where it's still like, you kind of give the point, but you're also still holding. It's not like a Swift Water where you just kind of, you know, run away
How
immediately.
long does it take for the
Uh,
point to cap? I guess is my immediate
yeah, that
question.
as well.
If it's like a really fast cap, like something like if it's like a cloth style, like it's really easy to cap, then yeah, I can see it being fairly easily given up. But if it's something like steel, like E, or like one of those points where it's just gonna take ages, I definitely think we're gonna see multiple refights on first. Yeah. Also, remember this is all for charity here. I'm pretty sure we're at 1,050. The goal is 2,500. Make sure to remember the exact command. Actually, if you do, go for it. But you need to keep getting that number up, so to speak. Here, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
back in like 20 seconds. I need water. One moment. I went through like 3 bottles already, man. Like I'm yapping a lot.
yeah. I've already gone through one myself, so I understand. I understand the struggle. But yeah, this is all for charity. We are trying to reach our goal of $2,500. So if you are able to, I would encourage donating. Don't tell BBL that I don't remember the command. Don't tell him that. But we are going live. We do have to wait for this like setup phase to pass. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this setup that the amazing digital mercs is going to kind of put up. Uh, Obviously, I think there's going to be the traps on the doors and everything. You can't go wrong with the traps on the doors, but I'm thinking this might be a pretty easy push out for the side of the Bonk Boys because this spawn is so large. It reminds me of Odyssey spawn, to be
I could see
honest,
that.
with all these doorways and how spread out they are. It really does remind me of Odyssey, especially the right side of spawn. If you look at it from the perspective of the point, that's definitely like something you would see on
For sure.
Odyssey.
I hate to interrupt you for just a second here, but it looks like Gumsy's going to be running crits here for this first offense, so I'd pay attention to that definitely.
Ooh.
As these doors open. 3 seconds on the setup.
Will we see a trap kill? Maybe we will. We will not. We will not see a trap kill. Spy was not able to get the deck call off, but Maya is in a position to maybe play some Calm Spy, get a good decloak in. The crits does come out. They're going to be able to find Shulel and G Magnum, so no 2 players down for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, but in response, Scary Broccoli going to be taking that Uber. We'll be able to find Windex, now going to be able to find Grape Juice as well. Freddy210 is chasing down Peanut and will be able to find that kill. Pale B finding Cypherlock as well. And finally, Freddy is going to go down to the hands of J-Puck. It does not win the Scout v Scout MGE while down 1 billion HP. But the Amazing Digital Mercs has a strong hold so far, has taken off a sizable chunk of time, but needs to maintain this hold. I don't think they're going to be able to as they're down 4, and I believe their sniper is dead now.
Yeah, on top of going down 5 and losing the gun, looks like the Bonk Boys should be able to cap this relatively easily. A lot of chasing happening. Hopefully they're able to get Toasty Jakey here on the exit, but it looks like the Amazing Digital Mercs are able to keep him alive. So first is going to be capped for the Bonk Boys. We'll see if time updates there. A minute to cap first, I think, is relatively solid. You know, that crit's getting the first couple at the start there and just using that momentum and those fast respawns to just bully their way through first. So we'll see how they hold second here. Looks like they're electing to hold up on the platform above where the cart's going to go through. So we'll see how that plays out for them. Uber's coming out, though, from the side of Scary Broccoli. Immediately trying to get it. It's the med drop on Gumsy. Great play for the side of Scary Broccoli, but he's kind of getting juggled and put into a bit of a box here. Going down for that med pick. Well, interesting play. We'll see how that works out for him. But I honestly, losing Scary Broccoli there at the end, I'm not a huge fan of it. It was really only him in that Uber, like I've mentioned before, and that I feel like, again, you get a hit scan in there and it's going to go a lot better. They're down 5, able to get a couple of spawners, but we'll see if something's able to happen. The gun's going down as well, so Bonk Boys are able to swing this cart relatively comfortably, and it looks like they're going to be able to shove out, but Engineer Gaming going down as well. Same thing with Red Heavy.
Gumsy dies again!
In the background, Paul getting the snipe on Gumsy. Great pick from the side of him. Hopefully, they're able to play off of that and not, lose 4 and then not be able to hold. You're at 75 ad. Steps getting... Steps getting the sorry, my bad. Getting the pick there on the medic, the sidestep yet again. And it looks like, this is going to be an absolute roll from the side of Bonk Boys into third.
Yeah, Bonk Boys, they don't want to mess around with this turnstile here. They're not trying to, be caught inside this choke. They're going to open up as much of a window as possible to try and get, as much time through this point without having any trouble given to them by the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs. I believe I believe Mayabon was able to find Peanut a little bit earlier, so the Amazing Digital Mercs had some time to try and peek through, but they weren't going to be able to, they're not going to be able to really make anything happen off of that. Stab's going to be able to find Paul here, so we're going down. Gumsy dies to the hands of Freddy210. Will get shutted out by Deputy. PK beats Will Crater, but Grape Juice comes through the flank and will be peeking out through that little catwalk area and manages to push back the Amazing Digital Mercs in a very, very quick fashion.
Jakey getting the 30 HP, by the way. Scary Broccoli going down as well. And yeah, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. I was going to say, very good play from the side of Peanut here. And again, Bonk Boys are going to have so much momentum going into last here. It just seems like no matter what they do, no matter if Gumsy dies or what have you, they keep losing so many people for it that it isn't really going to matter. Engineer Gaming Live going down, trying to save his gun, but to no avail. And we'll see how last goes. But honestly, I could see sub 430. I could see sub 4 if they're able to immediately get this in here. Engineer Gaming Live still being down means there's no gun, and the combo's going to be swinging out onto the cart. Are able to get Cypherlock and J-Puck, but Paul going down in the background might make this a little more difficult. Joel being at 90 HP, it looks like Bonk Boys are definitely losing a lot of players here, having a lot of ad, but they're going to have to reset before they take that Uber in. Toasty Jakey also going down to Peanut, by the way, in the background.
Well, I was going to say I don't know if a sub 4 is possible but with Toasty Jakey going down here, I think it may be in the cards. Well, maybe not actually. I feel like 30 seconds
I'm
has
guessing like
already
420
passed.
if this Uber goes well.
Yeah, I think we could still see a sub 430 if if the push on the side of the Bonk Boys is going to go well. They do manage to pop through. They will only be flashing their heavy and their demo. Just a very good offensive Uber. Spy will be going down on the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, and they're going to be able to wipe out 6 players. It's just 3 alive. It's only Jakey and the heavy, but no longer will those players be alive. Pale B and Scary Broccoli both going to get taken down, headshot and backstab respectively, and not a sub 430. We'll be seeing a sub 5 minute game though. This is really, really fast, really, really good for the side of the Bonk Boys going into this next round.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly, especially after that first, so I mean, on second there with the Scary Broccoli dropping Gumsy on that defense, I was kind of expecting there to be a little more hold on second. Same thing with third. They get their medic, they lose 4 for it, they lose third, they lose last. So it's like you're getting the med, but at what cost? This should be, if you're on the Bonk Boys here, you play this relatively standard and you should be able to hold this, but we're going to see a bit of desperation realistically coming out from the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs if they want to get the cap here within time and win this half. I mean, it's still possible. 457 is pushable, but especially since this is a relatively unknown map, we could see some snowballing happening, but they're really going to have to get something going and going soon. Otherwise, this is going to be a very easy first half win for the side of Bonk Boys. 5 seconds on setup. We'll see what happens.
But in that vein, it is just the first half. You know, the Amazing Digital Mercs can, take a breather for a minute or two and kind of figure out what they want to do in that next half. But the match has officially gone live. Paul going to be the first one falling in this round here. Peanut going to be able to find that shot. Mayabon already in a pretty decent position. Going for the decloak is instantly spotted, though. Will get taken down by Gumsy. I believe the first medic frag of the game. Bomb comes in from G Magnum, but isn't quite able to find anything. Will get taken down by the Sentry, and PKB is going to be able to find Freddy. So right off the bat, the push for the Amazing Digital Mercs is not going to be going well. Pale B going to die. Jakey going to go down. This is not looking good for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs at all.
I was going to say, as a Spy and Heavy main, I'm watching Stabs. He did get found at the start, but Amazing Surf to be able to get out to the side of the crate there is able to live, and then just jumps over the Heavy's head along the side of J-Puck, getting the medic and Heavy down. So they're going to have a little bit of add on this defense. 4 minutes now, so they've already held first for longer, or slightly longer than they pushed it. So definitely looking really good from the side of Bonk Boys. Bomb coming in, though, from the side of Amazing Digital Mercs. He's going to get levitated, though, and is going to die. Freddy also going down in the background. Scared Broccoli is trying to get something to have him, but Toasty Jakey going down to PK Beats. As we see, like, again, another collapse happening from the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs. Not really able to get any momentum, and Gumsy didn't even take a single point of damage. Gun still up. Still a very solid hold from the side of Bonk Boys.
Yeah, Bonk Boys have shaved off almost 2 minutes of the... Actually, they have shaved off... Actually, they only shaved about a minute and a half off, but they're getting pretty close. I did hear a banner get popped, I believe. That is a hold, kind of bolstener for the hold. But wait a minute, Cypherlock goes deep! Almost gets someone with the glow stick. It is going to be J-Puck trying to follow up off of the damage from Windex here, but not quite going to be able to find anything. I do believe Mayabon here going to be able to, or going to get taken down by Deputy. Will get traded out by Broccoli here, though, as the Amazing Digital Mercs, now with this space created and these players down, are trying to make their way in. And I do believe they're going to be successful in capping this point, but they only have 2 minutes 16 and counting to get through the rest of the point. I believe G Magnum here almost dying, not quite though, and the Amazing Digital Mercs are going to have a very, very rough time trying to push through. They've got 2.5 minutes to get through the rest of the map, which I don't even know if that's possible given how large the map is, but you know,
it's gonna have to be permanent ×3. It's gonna be very close. Toasty Jakey getting dropped by Windex!
My goodness!
I take over for a split second, and Toasty Jakey going down again. I was going to say, they were trying to sack on the side of Bonk Boys, trying to get that medic to use at least, because they were at disad, and being on disad on defense is the easiest way to lose the game. But Toasty Jakey going down to the demo, they're kind of giving him a free second hold, because they should be able to stabilize pretty easily here with the leveled gun. Spy's gonna sap it, so it looks like they are gonna lose their gun in the background, but still relatively solid hold from the side of Bonk Boys. They're probably gonna have to use here, and they do, but it's an absolute nuke on card!
Oh my goodness, this is nuclear. Bonk Boy is going to be able to get a lot of kills. They're actually going to be able to find Pale Beat as well. Cypherlock getting the first wrench kill of the game, of the NA cast as well. So maybe we'll see a little bit more of that as the day continues. But it does look like the Bonk Boys are going to be securing themselves the Dubski on this map, because I do not think it is possible for the amazing Digital Mercs to actually push through the rest of the map in a minute 10. But they have enough time to maybe try and make something happen. Engineer Gaming Live going to be able to sneak his way in and tick the point over, so they are going to at least be able to get the first cap for the side of the amazing Digital Mercs. But I don't think it. I think it's, you know, too little, too late for their team here, as 47 seconds left. At this point, it's just kind of who can hit the craziest clips.
Might as well practice
while we wait for the half.
at the time, you know.
Stabs getting in and taking down Jakey there as well.
Yeah, it's looking. I was gonna say Bonk Boy's definitely having a very solid defense here. We'll see if anything notable happens in the last 30 seconds. But I mean, even if the entire side of Bonk Boys decides to kill bind, I don't think there's really anything going to be happening. Scary Broccoli hoping to get a force out on the med. He does. Grape Juice is going to have another nuke in the corner, getting Toasty, Jakey, and the Heavy from the side of Amazing Digital Mercs. But yeah, it's looking like a pretty easy win from the side of Bonk Boys. Great plays on their part. And again, it's like that coordination and keeping their meta. Toasty, Jakey is in the respawn room more than anyone would like in any scenario. So I'm curious to see how logs look like, though. We'll see if we see another like 700 DPM showing from Scary Broccoli, and then again the side of Bonk Boys just playing that way more together. So top damage is going to be Scary Broccoli with 550, not as, dominant, but still able to top damage the server. And top frag is going to be Grape Juice going 19-3, going damage positive as Heavy as well, which is very difficult. As this is someone who's played that class for a very long time, that should not happen. That is not how the classes works.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for the side of the amazing Digital Mercs there. I mean, it's kind of it's almost double the amount of kills that Bonk Boys had when comparing it to those on the amazing Digital Mercs. I mean, they had 102 compared to 57, almost. Actually, I think this is about 8.2 thousand more damage. So while Scary Broccoli is doing a lot, there's only so much one guy can do. There's only so much, Broccoli can do as the demo. But, that's that. I think that's the half. I think they have to play another after this, unless I'm mistaken.
No, they do have to play one more. So at least with how payload works on like Highlander, well, looks like either I disconnected from the server or the server went down. I think, at least from my understanding,
I think the server's down. So
from production, it could be server issues, but from my understanding, from like a production side, it's meant to be first to 2 wins on payload should win it. But maybe I was mistaken. It could be possible that the Bonk Boys have already secured it, but we'll see what happens. The second I get the info, I'll make it very clear. But yeah, sounds good. But we'll take a couple of minutes here, see what's going on with the server, and be back in 5-ish, probably, hopefully.
Are you doing it? We are back. So that was just a one half of payload game. We are going to be going to another 3 minute break, coming back with some post game interviews. As a reminder, this is all for charity. So if you are able, I encourage you to donate. You can look at the QR code right underneath the 3 green bars on the left side of your screen. If you can scan that, that'll take you directly to the page for the excuse me, for the Tiltify campaign. There's also a message from Nightbot. If you scroll up in chat a little bit, that has the link to the Tiltify campaign as well. But yeah, we'll be right back in about three-ish minutes with some post game interviews. And welcome back, everybody. Again, I'm Eki in the booth with BBL. We have Grape Juice and Peanut here to do some post-game interviews from the Bonk Boys, the winning team of that series we just watched between the Amazing Digital Mercs and the Bonk Boys. I think right off the bat, I got to ask, what were your opinions on the maps? Because it's the first time I had seen any of them, and I'm imagining it's the first time you guys had seen any of them as well.
Yeah, my first time playing them for sure. Did Peanut scrim them?
I scrimmed them yesterday, and that was my first exposure to both of them was yesterday. I do actually like the King of the Hill one a lot. The payload one, it's still good. It's not. I don't think it's as good as the Cos one, but I still like it. There's some choke points I feel lost, but like
Yeah,
first
yeah.
point and last point, I feel fine. But everything in the middle, I was trying to figure it out as I went.
I see.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna say I've never seen a payload map before with
Yeah.
control point, so
Yeah,
it's definitely very
interesting. It was
interesting to
sort
see
of
how
like
that's
it was
gonna
like
work.
how that one end of the line map like sort of feels like it
Mhm.
should have played out, you know?
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
Snowplow. I think someone mentioned in
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. Where it's kind of like payload, but not quite.
Yeah. You get payload crumbs on that map, but
Yeah,
it's
there
not quite
is
what you're
no
hoping
exactly
for.
push it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my one of my main questions was from at least watching like from Skyview. You guys seem to be really coordinated, especially on the collapses. How were the comms in your guys' call? Like how were you? How was the energy? How were you guys like who was the I guess the head of the ship, so to speak, and how did you guys play around it?
I was the head of the ship, and I think my main goal was to keep everyone chill. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of time to make things happen in King of the Hill. I think a lot of players sort of throw the balls to the wall. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, like we got time, we got time. I just tried to make use of whatever information I had. I fumbled a lot with the collapses. I think if you think our collapses were good, I think I fumbled a lot of them.
Your demo
But
and soldiers seem to be like on it definitely during
yeah,
a lot of
but I
those.
definitely called some that were so terrible and didn't work at all. So yeah,
I mean, it happens. Sometimes you just make calls like that. But I mean, you had a couple of moments where it was just like we were watching Meet the Medic and you were walking up the mound of like corpses and
yeah,
just
true. I
mowing
did have a
everybody
couple of meet the
down.
medic moments. Yeah,
I just see
But
7 in chat. 7 kills in the kill feed.
yeah, it's
yeah.
a 7 kill streak or something. But I guess the most important question is, did you have fun today playing not only these maps but playing this event, playing against your adversaries, the Amazing Digital Mercs?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, awesome sauce. Love to hear it. I don't know if I have any more questions. I don't know if you have anything, BBL, but if you don't, I think that'll wrap up this here post game interview with you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. That was very fun to watch. You guys played great, and I'm very excited to see what happens. Happens tomorrow. Forgot exactly. I don't think it's written down who you guys are playing against tomorrow. I'm assuming it's whoever wins between the next two teams. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a
Mhm.
fun match. And thank you guys for playing, of course. But yeah, that's about it for me. So
Gary Broccoli gets diffed.
okay.
A little bit of BM right at
I
the
was
end
gonna.
there.
That didn't come out of my mouth, man. I'm just here.
Yeah, neither of us said that, but we also have another post-game interview with the Amazing Digital Mercs with Scary Broccoli and Toasty Jakey. Again, big question I got to ask right at the beginning. How were you guys feeling about the maps you played tonight? You played the Koth and you played Convergence and Divulgence, I believe, is the two maps you played. So, I mean, how did those feel like flow wise, especially the payload one? I'm more interested to hear about that one because it's a hybrid.
Yeah, I mean, I had a blast on both of the maps. It's hard to say on the payload since we didn't get to really push the whole map, but I like
Mhm.
the idea of having like a cough point as the first point. I thought that was really fun. Um, and I think the King of the Hill map was also just a blast, but we were really struggling with the sniper and engineer like wranglered on top of the shed on their
Mhm.
side. So my one complaint, I guess, is that the sniper sight lines probably need to get looked at. But I think that's like what everybody says about every new map. So
Almost
Yeah,
like
it's
a
such a
Asheville
struggle.
shutter situation. Have to put no build on that roof, something along those lines.
yeah,
Yeah, that
Um,
engineer was gunning me down with the gunslinger. That was crazy.
yeah, and the sight lines are also insane because I remember when we first were given the maps, I took a look and I just was like, wow, this is a sniper map. When you're standing on that roof, you can see basically the entirety of the points. So
Yeah, no,
Well,
definitely. Yeah, that payload map, like I've said before, like on the cast, it was very haven't seen something like that before ever in a like a Highlander setting. So, I was gonna say any takeaways from the match tonight that you guys think you're gonna try and implement tomorrow. I believe you guys are. We don't know who you're gonna be playing against tomorrow, but I know we still have one more day. So, I guess
yeah,
anything from. Oh yeah, go for it.
there's a let me say this. I think our team, shout out to the Bonk boys. They played fantastic. They deserved to win. They were the better team. Our team has a lot to learn from this game. I think it can be summed up in basically one sentence: is that they had better fundamentals. They just seem to like have a better grasp on like all of the concepts that you hear thrown around when it comes to competitive games, like map control, like numbers advantage, and they just had better collapses. I heard you guys mention that in the previous interview. So we definitely have a lot to learn, a lot to improve on, and I have high hopes for tomorrow. I think we know what the problems were, and we're gonna come out strong.
If it gives any context, I was the medic, and this is my first comp game ever in like
oh,
3,500 hours of TF2. So
Yep.
this was my first time ever in like a comp game. So I had a lot of fun. I know I dropped a lot of Ubers. I know everyone's screaming about me in my Discord channel about that. But yeah, I had a ton of fun, and I'm looking forward to the match tomorrow.
It was. I was gonna say it was a very fun match to watch. Most importantly, speaking on that subject, did you guys have fun today?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of good experience.
all
Sounds
right. Well,
good. I was gonna say anything from you or
no, I think that'll wrap it up for this other post game interview with the amazing Digital Mercs. Thank you guys for coming out, and thank you Broccoli and Jakey for actually coming in here and doing the interview with us.
You got it.
But yeah,
thank you
that
for
is going to
playing.
wrap it up for this interview. And of course, yeah, thank you for playing. I do quickly want to mention for the folks that are watching the stream, we have received two big money donations from Shulil and JPuck. Big 100 clam donation to
Halfway
the
to the goal off
charity.
of that.
Yeah, almost half, or no, we are halfway. And another dono coming in, 10 clams from Brad's. So
So yeah, I
if
was trying to.
you
Oh, go for it.
if you are able, I do encourage you, again, like I said earlier, QR code under the donation ticker on the left side of your screen. You can scan that. You can go straight to the Tiltify page, or I believe it's ! donate in chat to get a direct link to the Tiltify page where you can donate there as well. I do believe we are going to throw it to a quick break, and we will return with the next game, probably about 5-ish minutes, but may give or take a couple more. And welcome back, everybody, to Seasonalander Spring 2025, Day 1. Still Eki in the booth with BBL. Right off the bat, we are going to be going over the rosters for this upcoming game. We've got Doki Doki Fight Club, if I'm not mistaken, in the graphic up here, or at least my casting sheet is up to date, which I believe it is. Your scout is going to be EKSD. Your soldier will be Proctato. Your pyro will be Jolie or Joely. I don't know. Your demo will be Mr. Boom Snook. Your heavy will be JPEG. Your NG will be Pope Squidly. Your med will be MNX. And your sniper will be Fog Ballistic. And your spy will be General Alias.
And then for the side of the wholesome chunguses, I was gonna say we need to do a tier list for all these names. Like these are some amazing team names. We got Lappy on Scout, C Ravioli on Soldier, Great Blue on Pyro, Phantom Fountain Man on Demo, The What Show on Heavy. We have Crom on Engineer, Hole on Medic. The FSO. I don't fish on a stick. I see. My bad. On Sniper and Raw on Spy. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know these teams as well as I knew the first two, so it's definitely gonna be a bit more obscure, at least for me, looking at these teams. And there's also possibly a substitution coming in on the side of the wholesome chunguses, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will see what happens, and I believe there's something you want to talk about for one of the players on Doki Doki Fight Club. I think this is something that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, so I was gonna say I'll wait for it to show on screen. You see the sniper, right? You see this absolute chat. So you may be wondering, why is his mouse like that? Why is he twitching around? That's not a mouse, that's a Wii remote. He is currently playing Team Fortress 2 and is going to be playing Sniper for the entirety of the match, for at least my distinction, on a Wii remote. Which, by the way, best thing I've heard. I've seen people like in scrims before play on Steam VR or like on Xbox controllers. Someone played on a Steam Deck. I have never heard of Wii remote Sniper.
I mean, maybe it's new tech. We don't know. You know, the Wii remote. It's like you're holding. He has like the like hunting games for the Wii where they give you the like whole like setup. They give you like the plastic gun and everything, and you have to hold it.
The Wii Zapper,
and it, like you
or
slop the yeah. They give you like the whole gun thing, and you have to put the Wii remote in it, and like you have to hold it like a certain way. He's got one of those set up right now, and that's how he's playing. That's how he's going to play Sniper for this game. But I mean, maybe he'll hit a clip. Who knows?
I was gonna say I've played a couple of, when I was younger. I played a couple of FPS games. I played like Call of Duty and something else on the Wii, and I was like, I was 10-year-old me was having a blast getting to round 5 on Kino and dying over and over again. So I can't even imagine if he gets a pick. If he gets a medic drop, my mic is going to break from like the decibel level that's going to like show up in my room. I'm very giddy. Like I'm excited. Like I'm like eager to like see what's about to happen. But we'll see what's going on. Again, looks like Cyber Wizard's going to be subbing in and playing Sniper for the Chunguses for Red Team. So we're not going to be seeing Fish Stick on a stick or Fish. I hate words. We're not going to be seeing him on Sniper today, unfortunately. We're going to be seeing Cyber Wizard, who is our host, actually. So we have one of the staff playing now. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I have no idea what any of these players really play like. I don't know how these guys go about their games. I don't know if they're super competitive. I mean, obviously, Fog over here, the most competitive of the bunch with the Wii remote setup, clearly knows the tech better than anyone else. He's nerfing himself, really.
True.
That's the only way he's making it fair, True. But we are just waiting on these teams to hit that Ruppington button so we can see some gameplay. Again, on Conveyance, if I'm not mistaken, it will be Conveyance and Divulgence again.
Same order, yes.
Yeah. If we do end up moving on to the third map, we are going to be seeing Neotropic for the first time today. I do think we have something to reference in the donos where we have someone who's donated 101 clams. ZR with the big dono. A very big dono, as a matter of fact, biggest one of I think the NA portion of the stream, starting a little bit of a dono war, perhaps. But 200 from Cole as well. I think the biggest donation of either stream we have received. So reminder, if you are able, I encourage you to donate. QR code, exclamation point donate in the chat to get links to the Tiltify campaign. But like I said, we are just kind of waiting on these teams to rup and get some gameplay going, and hopefully we get to see a good amount of fog cam, because I think beyond us being interested in how the Wii Remote Sniper is gonna go, I think the stream is gonna be real invested on Fog's gameplay.
I mean, if he gets a, like I said, if he gets a med drop, if he gets anything insane, that's gonna be one for the ages. That's gonna be historical. But looking at these teams, I don't know too much about them. Like I said, not as familiar, but I think it's gonna be a similar situation that we saw in the first game, where for blue team, for Doki Doki Fight Club, they're going to be orienting around their heavy mainly, similar to what we saw with the Bonk Boys and Grape Juice. JPEG is probably going to be the one leading the charge in the comms, at least, and probably going to be seeing that 30-40% being Pudis. And then on the side of red, Fountain Man, I think, is probably one of the most, or at least more experienced players in their combo respectively. So again, it's going to be like a sort of like a Scary Broccoli versus Grape Juice light, so to speak. Hopefully, again, we're just waiting on these teams to start, but yeah, I will, I'm still trying to process the remote. I'm sorry for bringing it up over and over again, but it's like like I said, I've seen Xbox controllers, I've seen Steam Decks, I've seen VR before in competitive. That's a lot. Also, yeah, when it comes to the donations have been insane. For an amazing cause, by the way. I'm very happy to see that we're already over halfway through, like halfway towards the goal that we're looking for. I mean, I'm just saying, like NA's got to show that we can do more than EU here. I kind of want, come on, get a little bit of the competitive spirit going. I know,
Region Wars.
Like, region wars, but in terms of who can donate more to Starlight. Looks like the Chunguses, the red team, they are readied up, so it looks like we're just raining on blue, and the game's gonna be starting. So take it away for the first mid.
Of course, game is going live. Again, we are on Koth Conveyance, first map of this series, potentially a 3-map series. Does look like we already have Ravioli in pretty deep there, much quicker than his adversary on Soldier. Pages, collect my pages, epic name. Looking to move forward, but Mr. Boomsnook going to be taken down here very quickly. Does look like Pages is going to be able to find the pick on a great blue there. Eminex is going to be going down as Raw hits a stab, going to be traded out with by EKSD. Pages and Proct both going to be going down here as Fountain Man lands a nice pipe, but Cyber Wizard going to get backstabbed by General Alias. I do think the Wholesome Chunguses are going to be able to convert this point, winning that first fight. I don't think they know about General Alias being on this little stairway here. He's going to go for the decloak, going to get the heavy here, and is going to be running away, getting that kill onto the what, going to open up a good window for Doki Doki Fight Club to try and get in, but I don't think they're going to take it anytime soon, especially because they know they're pushing into an uber disad situation. Medic is going to pop here. They're taking it pretty deep. It looks like Fountain Man's going to get thrown into the water. The pit claims 1 soul for the game, and Cole going to go down here. This opens up a very big window for DDFC to get in.
Yeah, that was very preemptive on the side of on the side of the Chunguses. I don't really agree with the solo demo man Uber. We've seen a lot of that last game. I don't want to see as much of it this game, if at all possible. Only taking 2 in there, immediately having your demo be pushed into the pit, and losing your mat immediately afterwards. So it's going to be pretty easy cap coming out from from Fight Club from blue team, and being at full ad as well. We'll see if red team is able to force out that medic, possibly get some momentum here. Otherwise, they're going to kind of just have to wait for Uber. Not really much is happening. They're slowly trying to push through the valley here in the bottom right, but Yeah, it's a very slow fight. Collect my pages. Blue Pyro's going to be going down. Only pick coming out from both sides so far. Raw going down in the background, not able to get that stab. Bit of edgy for the point though, so we should be able to. We should be seeing Fight Club taking in an Uber here, using it on the Pudis.
Yeah, this does look like it's going to be a little bit of a, honestly, even Uber, all things considered. Does look like John actually is going to be able to find another couple players, going to be able to find Cyber Wizard and a few more picks in that Uber. Much more in the post than actually during the Uber, interestingly enough. Looks like the What going to be coming up this little slope here, trying to play passively, though, as the Uber does come out from the side of the Wholesome Chungus, as they're just trying to take down this Sentry and catch out whoever they can. Nice pipe from Fountain Man onto the combo. We'll do a sizable 100 and about 80 to the others with that Splash Proc. Going to be going down here. General Alias not quite able to land the Sap. Fog going to go down to Lappy, as the What is also able to destroy the nest from the side of Pope Squidly here. So it doesn't look like DDFC is going to have a very easy time trying to reaggress into this. I think Lappy's actually trying to take down Mr. Boomsnook and will be successful. It looks like Johnson is going to be going down as well. Fog Ballistic going to be losing that SVS. The Wii Remote not quite powerful enough. The soldiers actually bumped into each other while trying to go for a bomb. Proc will be going down, and so will General Alias. And it looks like the Wholesome Chunguses are going to be holding on to this point for another possibly 20-ish seconds while we wait for DDFC to gather themselves and try to take this Uber ad push.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's only 20 ad now, so they really need to go fast if they want to play off of it. Losing their sniper at the start here is going to make it a little more difficult to push out. Them all going through that tiny little corridor could have ended a lot worse than it did. Uber's coming out solo on the heavy here on JPEG, trying to swing around. Cole does go down to the heavy Uber. Cole dropping there as well, but no one's really there to support JPEG. The collapse on Blue Medic on MNX is going to be very detrimental. And yeah, I mean, they do get the medic, but at what cost? They're not really able to get much more after that. The red team is down by 5 though, so it looks like DDFC should be able to repush this relatively comfortably and get on the point. They're down 40 seconds though, so they want to get this done sooner rather than later. Spy going down in the background, not able to get the pick. The What also goes down, so it looks like this is going to be a pretty solid capture, all things considered, from the side of DDFC. And on even Ubers as well, this should be a pretty comfortable hold. Cole goes down to the Mark Garden in the background.
I mean,
not expecting that.
Hey, if you're hitting a clip, you're hitting a clip. It's not feeding if it's a clip, and he was able to get the very crispy med drop. It's actually going to be C Ravioli. Going to be able to take down the demo man, Mr. Boomsnook, by knocking him into the water. So the water claims a second soul in this one. I guess the water here is like the pit of steel. Johnson going to be able to peek out through this little flank area. Will be able to find one for it. Sentry for Pope Squidly will go down here. C Ravioli is getting some decent spam. Going to be playing up on top of this little shack here. Collect my pages will be going down as General Alias is able to find the backstab onto Fountain Man. So no demo alive for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. Uber will come out from the side of DDFC. They're trying to push forward. They're not quite able to find anything with it as there's so few players alive. Raw tries to go in at the last moment and find themselves a kill, but will not be able to, and unfortunately for him, they will not be able to net any real value. C Ravioli is kind of caught behind. Will hit a nice rocket onto MNX here. He's 4 HP, and the What will be able to land the final pepper bullet onto him, taking him down. This is pretty big for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses as they're now on 85, 86 Uber here. Collect my pages, going to be able to find Fountain Man, and looks like the Wholesome Chunguses are just trying to set themselves up for a good hold. They need to get the cap time down as it's 13 seconds to 29 and counting, and looks like General Alias looking to get in.
It's going to be very interesting here. Blue team, DDFC are not going to be able to build Uber in time, so they really need to get this Uber out early from the side of the Chunguses. Otherwise, this is going to be a pretty easy hold here. So the swing immediately coming from the side of Valley. JPEG is trying to swing. The heavy and demo are getting on the point. They're losing a lot of ground here on the side of Red. Both Fountain Man going down in the background. It's going to be a solo scout Uber. We'll see if this is enough to be able to hold the point. The level 1 gun maybe in the post is able to do something, but so many players are down on the side of DDFC. That's now 6, that's now 7, and it looks like the Chunguses are going to be able to hold for this first point.
Yeah, it does look like the Chunguses will be able to hold on, at least for the first round. Very, very close. Don't let the score deceive you. 13 seconds to 0 for DDFC and Chungus, respectively. I mean, that's pretty close. You know, I think DDFC has a very strong chance of tying this one up this round. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see if they can maintain the momentum that they've had so far and maybe pick up a little bit extra along the way. Fog eats a headshot very early on, so will have to drop away. Does look like Raw is going to be going down, so this does open... Wins the SPS with Cyber Wizard! Oh my goodness, the Wii Remote!
The Wii Remote comes
strong.
in! I'm pretty sure that's his first pick, maybe second, but definitely first SVS win, as it looks like the Chunguses are going to be able to cap this point, but they are down both Cyber Wizard and Great Blue, so the re-aggression from DDFC should be relatively potent here, able to get this point pretty quickly, and I mean, you get 14 seconds, 15 seconds off the point, but you aren't really getting much else after that, but the cap definitely took a while, and the force coming in here from the side of DDFC, not really a huge fan of that. I don't think he really needed to use to keep JPEG up there, but I guess there's a bit of miscommunication. Cole drops in the background to General Alias. As I'm trying to pay attention to the Uber, he's going down in the background of the Spy, coming in clutch for the side of DDFC, and Ubers are going to be 20% ad for the side of DDFC, and this should be relatively solid hold.
Yeah, I think DDFC is going to have a pretty... I wouldn't say easy time, but they'll have a decent time trying to hold. General Alias is going to be able to take down the What here, so that will make it a little bit easier for DDFC to hold. They're not going to have to worry about a heavy kind of walking into their face, you know, trying to mow them down, especially with the kills we've been seeing the What getting, kind of just walking into people. Collect My Pages is going to be able to find Lappy, Proc going to be able to find Cyber Wizard, but Pages, Johnson, and Fog both, or all three, going to be going down, rather, and that's not very good if you're trying to hold on to, onto the point here. EKSD is kind of caught inside of this little cubby area, is going to have to go and try and find Raw, will get him, but they do find Pope, and it doesn't look like it's going to be that
in the background,
a hold.
Proc there was able to get the pick on Cole, so it's going to be full ad for this repush. And especially being up 40 seconds, this is looking really good for the side of DDFC if they're able to just get a decent push here. All the traps are probably going to cause them to force early. It looks like it's going to be another heavy Uber as they swing through here. Uber coming out really late. Fog Ballistic and Mr. Boom do go down in the background, though, only losing... The Chungus is only losing Great Blue and the What as a result, so there should be able to be a refight in some form. Raw going down as well. Bunch of picks coming out from both sides here as the Chunguses are only up 3, so DDFC should be able to take this point here, as well as keep both meds are able to stay up, so Ubers are going to still stay relatively even. This cap is definitely taking a lot longer than expected. It looks like the aggression there, trying to see if they could get anybody else, but to no avail. They hopefully will get this point. There we go. Definitely took a little longer than I would have at least wanted, but they're going through here. Fog Ballistic does lose SVS, unfortunately. Collect My Pages almost goes down, but he's able to stay up. And we'll see if the Chunguses are able to play off this 20 ad, hitting 90% here, while DDFC is only at 70.
Yeah, DDFC is going to be a little bit behind in the Uber department, but the real question is, will the Chunguses rip it quickly enough for it to matter? And their answer to that question is yes. As soon as I ask, they rip it through. They're going to be able to find MNX here, so any sense of Uber that they have is gone. General Alias trying to go for some kind of stab here, will actually back Crom into a corner and will secure that kill for Johnson. It is Fog Ballistic trying to take down C Ravioli, as Collect My Pages is trying to take that duel with him, will be successful. I don't think they know about Raw. Actually, they do, as Johnson is able to take him down. They still have a solid 30 seconds worth, almost 40 seconds actually, of time ad on the side of DDFC. So it's, you know, they don't really have to panic. They don't have to worry. They have pretty much all the time in the world, really, with the time still being over a minute on either side to make some mistakes, make some plays. Collect My Pages, General Alias going to go down. Proc will be able to find Cyber Wizard, though, so no Sniper alive for the side of the wholesome Chunguses. But I don't know if this will be enough for DDFC to try and make a play. But as I say that, Great Blue going to go down. So is Lappy to the hands of Mr. Boomstick and EKSD, respectively. Looks like we're going to have Steve Ravioli jumping away, not able to stay in any longer. Sentry going to go down, and Fog Ballistic actually dies to Raw. No Sniper alive for the side of DDFC, but they still have that player ad. They're going to be able to take this point just as it goes under a minute for Chungus.
Now, still a relatively comfortable hold here, but it looks like MNX might go down here 90%. Fountain Man trying to get the pick with the pan! It is able to kill MNX at 99% Uber. So if Cole is able to live here, this is very good for the side of the Chunguses. They're able to cap being down Fountain Man in the what is unfortunate, but that is a very small silver lining considering what just happened in that Uber there. Great plays coming out from the side of the Chunguses, and they're now going to be at 45 seconds remaining and with the point. Ubers really shouldn't be a factor until we hit overtime. So for this dry fight, we aren't going to be seeing either team with Ubers and Proc trying to go for something. Dies to Great Blue, but it looks like Great Blue might go down 35 HP. 6 HP is able to live, it looks like. So the slow push coming out from Valley here, not able to get him. Fog Ballista going down to Raw in the background, so no sniper is going to make this even more difficult. Still trying to play around JPEG to the best of DDFC's ability, but losing him to the Spy is not going to help. Raw does go down, almost gets the trick stab, but yeah, 10 seconds left, 75%, and it looks like this should be a relatively comfortable hold on the side of the Chunguses. They are down 3, though. Playing around that gun is definitely going to be very important. Playing around your hit scan, getting your Uber, and using into them off that very slight ad. You're at 98, 99%. You have it. You need to use it. You're using it on Fountain Man alone. There is a Pyro, though, running into the level 2 gun. The gun's going to be the savior, and they're going to be able to take the second round. It's going to go to map point.
Yeah, I think the swap to the leveled sentry kind of gave Chungus the upper hand they needed to make things happen. Obviously, a mini sentry would have done just as well there. Well, not just as well, but it would have had that same intimidation factor. But with the level 2, it just shot so much quicker, did so much more damage. It kind of just melted everybody else that was remaining on the point, and that Uber also forcing everyone away. DDFC just kind of took a little too long to realize they have to keep their bodies on the point, and of course, you know, they can't really they can't really do much with that happening right in their face. Collect My Pages will go down to See Ravioli. General Ailey is going to go down as well to the hands of the what? It looks like See Ravioli trying to get in from behind. Lappy will be able to take down EKSD with the bleed. Johnson, MNX, everybody's dying on the side of DDFC. It's Just Free Alive. Fog Ballistic peeking from this lower area. Tries to go for the shot. Will not hit it. Goes for another. Beefs again. He fired again, and he missed. And it looks like Demo going in for the pan. Will find the kill. Fountain Man getting the pan onto Fog Ballistic. Looks like the wholesome Chungus will be holding on to this point for a while.
Noticing that the sniper is alone. If Fog Ballistic did have a couple of opportunities to possibly get the med there, but unfortunately misses. Cyber Wizard going down to the sack from the Pyro there. It's going to make this a little more easy for the side of DDFC to try and get a push and get this Uber out, but it looks like the Heavy Swing is going to take down the what? Fountain Man also going down in the background means that the Chunguses are down forward. Med's going to have to use any second here on a Pyro and a Scout. I don't know why you're holding it! And you drop for it. Use the Uber. You have a Scout. You have a Pyro. The meds right there. That would have been amazing, but no, you did not right click. And the cost of that is your blood. It's got to be the
you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that with all that space, all that time, all that blood. I mean, you cannot milk right there. You have to use. You have to just pop in their face and try and get whatever you can. But unfortunately, they held for far too long, and they are going to go down for it. They're going to lose that push, but I think they still have a lot of time to try and get in. The what? Going to be able to take down Proc. Looks like C Ravioli going to be curving over, trying to get Collect My Pages. Cyber Wizard is trying to peek through as well. I believe he's up on Huntsman, actually. Does look like the health for DDFC is rather poor as well. A lot of players are kind of weak. The Uber is going to get popped out here, though, as MNX and Johnson try and push forward. It's going to be Collect My Pages, absolutely collecting those pages, getting 5 kills within that Uber. Absolutely brutal. Actually, I believe that was only 4. I think they got a dispenser, but, you know.
No, that was great plays coming in from the side of DDFC. I will say Fog Ballistic saving his med there almost, getting the headshot on Raw in the background, was able to, thankfully the med used, but if it wasn't for that, we would have seen a drop on the side of DDFC. Now getting time ad being up 20 seconds here. Ubers are not being in place, so we're going to see Dry coming in through Valley. First picks are going to be on Fog Ballistic. Raw getting the pick in the background, doing the 1v1 duel with the Demo, getting the Demo as well, so this should be a fairly easy push from the side of the Chunguses, but who knows at this point, because Fountain Man's going down to the background to JPEG, sweeting in from the house, trying to see if they could get any more picks. The more time you can get here, the better, just trying to slowly stall it out, and it looks like also losing Collect My Pages is going to make this go back into the favor of the Chunguses, but being down both 40 seconds and losing 3, almost losing the wood on top of it, but he's able to live in the background, going down 5 now, as Cole's trying to escape from the Spy. and the soldier going in for the Uber sub pick. He has, but he drops.
Oh my goodness.
75%. That would have been clutch, but honestly, it's unfortunate the circumstances. And DDFC are going to be able to retake this point. Full ad, having their sniper set up. I'm watch Fog Ballistic here. I'm hoping for a pick, and he is able to get C Ravioli against the soldier. I really like the forward aggression. I want to be seeing that more from these teams, and yeah, it's going to be full ad from the side of DDFC as the Chungus is trying to repush here.
Yeah, the Chunguses are looking to get in. They've lost a minute worth of time on the cap, so they have to try and find themselves a window very soon. Uber is going to come out from the side of DDFC. They are going to be able to find Great Blue. Johnson is on a 12 kill streak right now, is looking to add more to that total, but they're not quite able to find anything during that Uber, but maybe they'll be able to find something in the post as Proct is peeking from the flank here, trying to get some info. Going in deep, tries to go for the spoon, but will not get it. Looks like General Alias going to hit a nice backstab onto C Ravioli, and they will trade out with him. Crom going to be able to find the kill, but I mean, at that point, it doesn't matter. Crazy trick stab. EKSD going to go down now. Proct as well. Fountain Man and Lappy finding it. Fog Ballistic going to be able to find Crom as well. Nice Wii Remote kill. Cyber Wizard pulling out the Sydney Sleeper going to be able to take him down. Johnson adding another kill to his 13 kill streak in the form of Raw. Does look like DDFC has finally lost the point. The Wholesome Chungus, the Wholesome Chunguses rather, need to maintain control over this point for the next minute and a half-ish and try to make things happen. They can't really afford to give it up at any moment, really. Proc's going to be able to get a nice 2K in this little hut area, finding C Ravioli and Cyber Wizard, so no sniper alive and no soldier for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. Gives DDFC a little bit of time to try and make something happen, as they also lose their demo in that. Uber is going to get popped for, but it's looking a little bit better for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. Only slightly, though. They will be getting a lot of damage out, as Lappy and Raw will be able to get in, finding Johnson and Eminix, so the med is down for the side of DDFC. This is pretty big for the Wholesome Chunguses, especially while they're trying to look at maintaining control of this point for the remainder of the game, trying to secure the final round. It looks like Proc going to be able to find Great Blue, almost going to be able to find the what, but will get taken down by Lappy here. Raw going to be able to find Pope, as well as Cyber Wizard finding Mr. Boom Snook. It is not looking great for DDFC at the current moment, but they still have about 35 seconds to try and make something happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, Uber's 25%, it's going to be dead even here, so Ubers are only going to be play during overtime. General Alias and Cyber Wizard both going down, so DDFC do have an opening off of that sniper pick, but it looks like they're going to elect to try and play this a little slower, swinging all the way around to the opposite side into the house here to try and push through, playing off of that heavy, playing the corners there is really what you're looking for. The Pyro v Pyro, click my pages being on the flog, a bunch of picks coming out from both sides, Cole going down to Mr. Boom, so if the Chunguses are not going to have their medic, but it's going to be at overtime, so we'll see if it even matters. Being down 5, being down 6, DDFC at 90%, but it doesn't even matter because you have to get on the point, and the Chunguses are able to come back from a 2-minute deficit to sweep this map. I was kind of hoping for the other team to win, so I didn't have to, let's get a little back and forth. Let's see the other team win around, but amazing clutch there from the side of the Chunguses, and yeah, very, very, very fun game. Very interesting game to watch. Just too long on that rotate and losing too many players at the end there is going to cost you the game.
Yeah, it's just a unfortunate situation, but I have these logs pulled up already. I'm quick on that draw. Filtering by DPM, Fountain Man up there with 573, closely followed by Johnson at 546. Top kills in the server are going to be Johnson with 38, 13, and 11. So really putting in the work there, just mowing down whatever's in front of him. Pretty much playing heavy as heavy's meant to be played. 673 DTM, but managed to survive
beam.
a lot. Yeah, managed to survive a lot more than I think he probably should have got away with, but I guess that's partially due to the 50% beam that he received. I honestly, I was kind of surprised that the Wholesome Chunguses were able to come back from such a crazy deficit, especially because DDFC only had 5 seconds left on the clock that they needed to tick down. They only needed one good push. They just kind of needed to work together, but or they needed to work together and get in once, but unfortunately that did not pan out for them, and they ended up losing that round. But yeah, and
I'll go for it.
I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss because it's a 2-minute deficit, and they held on to it the entire time afterwards.
I was gonna say if you're down that much time, you really got to slow the game down. And they were able to definitely during the post of those Ubers just have that like the definitely were advantageous for the side of the Chunguses losing and for DDFC losing their medic being really slow. They had multiple opportunities of the Chunguses being down 3 at times, being down both Demo and Sniper, but they were not able to push fast enough off of it. Were not able to capitalize on those moments, allowed them to reset, and the Chunguses were able to get that round. I was going to say something similar to what we saw in the first game here. The losing team definitely has like the quote unquote best player, JPEG here, having 13 more kills than anyone else on the server. 550 DPM for a heavy is absolutely insane, but it isn't going to matter if the rest of your team isn't doing too hot. So the supporting players, if DDFC can have their supporting players do a little more and are able to maintain the impact that JPEG is doing, I mean, you're putting all your eggs in one basket, but it doesn't seem to really be the horse that you're wanting to bet on here. Because no matter what one player can do, as we saw, like I said, as we saw in the first game, no matter what that one player does, it's a night. There are 8 other people in the server, so I really would like to see more support around the heavy, like we saw with the Bonk Boys last game, especially on that call, the first half that we saw. Definitely playing around their heavy a lot better, at least in my opinion. We're able to get their demo incorporated more. We're able to get the soldier, the spy, etc., to able to come in for those collapses, and we're able to kill the med more often. Because I was going to say DDFC's med didn't die as often as the Chunguses, even though they kind of got swept. So, like I said, hopefully we could see more coming in from the secondary players of DDFC, and if they're able to do that, I think they can take this next map. But we're going to be going over to Divergence, it's not Divergence. What is it?
I think
Divulgence. Thank you. I was going to say, I knew I was getting that wrong there, and it looks like the Chunguses are electing to take the defense. So we're going to be seeing DDFC pushing here at the start, and yeah, I mean, like we said before, hybrid map. Haven't really seen it before in competitive, especially like in any capacity whatsoever, unless you're going back to like 2008, maybe 2009. So a bunch of different ways you could play this map is, I guess, the point that I was trying to get at. So gotta be interesting to see how these two teams tackle it.
Yeah, I mean, what we saw earlier is that the first point is not a give, at least for the two teams we saw duking it out, the Bonk Boys, and this is not a good time to forget their name, the Bonk Boys and the Amazing Digital Mercs. What we saw between them, neither team really decided they wanted to give up the first point. Granted, I think the second half of that was influenced by just the very low amount of time that was, allotted for the Amazing Digital Mercs to try and cap. But from what I've seen so far, from what we've seen these teams do, they've been holding this point very aggressively. They've been trying to prevent them from getting onto the point pretty much entirely. So I'm interested to see if that's the kind of strategy that these teams are going to adopt this time around or not. But we do have a new dono in from Grape Juice for 10 clams. If you want to get your name up there, scan the QR code isn't up there, but if you type !donate in chat, you're donating to a good cause benefiting Starlight Children's Foundation. If you're able to, I would recommend it. But going into this next match on Divulgence, I'm pretty excited to see what the aggression from DDFC is going to look like, because the way we saw them playing on Convergence on Koth definitely makes me think that they're going to be pretty aggressive on this hybrid map.
For sure, I can definitely see that. I was gonna say, when it comes to the donations, I definitely think we can get to that. At least, I think we could definitely get to at least 1,500 by the end of the night. So definitely, if you have the couple of minutes, go for it. Get those donations going there. Good stuff. But yeah, when it comes to the game, says we're waiting for people to get into the server. DDFC are missing 1, so just waiting on that, and then for the teams to rup. I'm seeing on the stream, we're still seeing the Wii Remote gameplay coming out from the side of DDFC Sniper. So, but yeah, I was definitely on this offense, I was gonna say, I mean, if you're really trying to play around your heavy, I'm not really expecting crits. If I'm looking at the map, if I had to guess the future, pushing out from the right here, all that cover that you're able to get your heavy relatively close, maybe getting a soldier in there, flashing them through, getting the heavy in, etc., etc. I know I'm starting to yap a little bit about the meta game for a map that neither of these teams have played yet, but just trying to theorize about how they're going to tackle it, so to speak. And I was going to say, hopefully, I mean, I want to see the third map. I haven't seen the third map yet, personally. I have no clue what it looks like, so I would love to see DDFC take this next map so we can see the third final map. You said, what is it called again?
Neotropic or Neotropic, I think. I don't know.
Neotropic?
Probably Tropic. Neotropic. I don't know. One of those ways
Something
it's
along
pronounced.
those
Either
lines.
way, I'm sure it'll be a good map when we get to it, because I have a feeling we're going to get to it either today or tomorrow. We will see a team.
Tomorrow it is
Actually,
the starting
isn't-
map,
isn't it-
so.
Yeah, so it's guaranteed tomorrow. So even if we don't get a full best of 3 series today, we will at least get to see it tomorrow. But I mean, what can you really do besides try and describe the metagame on this? Especially because, we are waiting for these teams to start. We kind of have to theorize, we have to think about how are these teams gonna go about it? Because we've already seen, our sample size is small, but we've already seen 2 teams go at it on either side of this map. So we kind of have we have a very, very slight idea as to how teams may play this, and obviously we know that they're going to be holding the point pretty aggressively. At least that's how they held it in the game prior. But the real question is, will that be the general consensus, or will this be a game where both teams kind of hold back a little bit, give the point, and then try and stop the cart as much as possible?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, we'll see. Ooh, my Discord overlay broke. That's unfortunate. Next time we have a pause, I'm gonna have to reset my TF2. But for now, I'm good. Yeah, just waiting on that one player from the side of DDFC. See, I'm curious if either any of these maps are potentially going to be in an RGL map cup. I was gonna say that I participated in the last map cup for Nidal was the map. It's sort of akin to Steel in terms of it being an attack defend map. 4 points instead of 5 though, and it's definitely a faster pace than Steel. But I was gonna say maybe I can get my hands on playing one of these maps at some point. That'd be nice. I mean, I'm not 100% sure at what stage these maps are in terms of testing and development, but who knows? Maybe they'll be thrown into the ringer, so to speak, in the future. Hopefully not just a one and done for these maps. I'd like to see them more in future instances. I was gonna say, I'm not sure who the map creator is. I know for Nidal it was Theater Techie who made that map. I don't know if he made any of these 3, but yeah, currently we're on Divulgence, responding to chat, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's we're 9 on each team, so hopefully they start ready up soon. But go for it.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I hope that these maps, not even just this map or one map in general, I hope that these maps see more gameplay than just this cup. I hope they get pugged a little bit, and maybe some map development discords, maybe some pug servers, Highlander pugs will be able to try and run these. We are going live, but we have that setup phase, so we'll have a little bit to get things.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they took a couple more minutes, I was gonna have to start talking about basketball or something. Like, I was gonna have to switch topics.
I'll start talking about hockey or something. I was watching a hockey game the other day. I was rooting for my local team. Dude, we got rolled. It was bad.
I was gonna say, I'm really big into like basketball and football. I used to play soccer, but not much anymore. But yeah, I was gonna say March Madness has definitely been on my mind. Final Four is happening tonight, so that's cool. But 40 seconds from the setup. For the setup clock here, as we switch back over to TF2. Wait,
to esports talk rather than the sports talk.
True.
They're doing the rib tech. The rib tech, all kill binding and spawn.
I like that. That's good. That's like
big.
I mean, just the sheer coordination. That's like a message. I don't know what message, but it's a message.
It's a message that says we have the power of friendship and teamwork. You guys are gonna eat it. when we
Fight
push
for one,
out
fight for
of
all, something
spawn.
along those lines.
Yeah, all for one, one for all, or something like that. But we are. Oh, Fog is going to be able to get the Wii Remote pick onto Cyber Wizard, opening up explosively right off of the bat. It does look like DDFC wanting to push a little bit more aggressively, coming up from that right side, looking at it from their spawn point of view. They're moving forward. Fog Ballistic will get bombed, taken down by some Ravioli, but I don't really think that matters. It might be a little bit too late, as DDFC has pretty much already pushed the Wholesome Chunguses away. They are going to get that Uber to come out, so no team has an Uber up, and it will be pretty much even for the Ubers. It does look like Raw is in a pretty nice position, is going to go for the D-Cloak, hasn't been spotted, I don't think, will now get spotted, does get called out by Collect My Pages, and interestingly enough, I think Collect My Pages and EKSD have swapped classes. The Sentry is still up on the side of the Wholesome Chunguses, so while their Uber and initial push was good on the side of DDFC, they haven't managed to break the hold just yet.
For sure. I was going to say, like I noted in the Coffin map, they get the openings, but they don't seem to be able to immediately play off of them. Cyber Wizard going down, but Mr. Boom also going down for the side of DDFC is going to make this push still not the easiest in the world. Collect My Pages did switch over, so now we have Collect My Pages on Scout and EKSD on Pyro. So Cole being at 85%, MNX at 90%, so we're going to be seeing Ubers coming out soon, Cyber Wizard and JPEG being the ones down. JPEG being down is definitely going to make this push a lot more difficult, though, considering he seems to be the mastermind of the operation, so to speak. Relatively passive.
Going in.
Oh, coming out. MNX going down to Raw is going to make this a lot more difficult. Uber coming out and trying to sort of rub it in a sense, put a salt to the wound.
Salt in the wound, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say getting JPEG, but not much else. I'm not a huge fan of the Uber, and they lose Great Blue, and they lose Lappy. So being down 3, it looks like Collect My Pages is not happy with the slight BM push that I saw there, at least in my immediate opinion. We're waiting to see if hopefully DDFC is able to capitalize on it. Again, Great Blue and Lappy just coming up, so they have a little bit more time. The thing is, Raw in the background is able to get procced. Cyber Wizard and Raw both go down, though, so no pick classes from the side of the Chunguses, as, again, like, level 3 gun is up, and the heavy soldier is getting picked, but honestly, not the pick I would have went for if I'm the spy there. Unfortunate, JPEG going down, and again, we're seeing, like, the Chunguses are able to just reset. This passive hold is very difficult, especially with the heavy, right? Like, you're only really taking heavy Ubers, and with how passive they are, you aren't really getting any damage in, especially to that gun, unless your spy and soldier are able to collapse on it during that Uber. You're kind of getting stuck, ramming your head into the wall. But the 50% ad push might change my mind here. Uber's coming out. The spy is going to be coming in, and not any immediate picks, but they have a lot of room. Hopefully they can get cap time in the background, but it looks like Cole's going to get his Uber out in time. Cyber Wizard and Crom go down on the side of the Chunguses, but hopefully this Uber from the side of the Chunguses is able to get anything, but it doesn't seem to get many people. 4 down from the side of the Chunguses, so they're going to have to leave. We'll see if Collect My Pages is able to get the medic. Cole is able to live here at 120 HP, being saved by his Demo and Soldier, and it looks like finally DDFC are able to cap first.
Yeah, I think what you said earlier about DDFC being able to kind of get these openings but never actually close them out. Well, not never actually, but hardly ever be able to close them out. I think rings very, very true. We saw a couple pushes that should have gone very well for them, and they did as they started, but as they continued on, they just got more and more, uncoordinated. They got a little discombobulated, if you will, and unfortunately, it took them a good number of tries, 3.5 minutes almost, to get through that first point. But I think maybe their luck will start turning around as they are making good progress with the cart by now. The Wholesome Chunguses pretty much have to completely reset inside of this building, so they have to give a good chunk of space to DDFC, as well as this part of the map doesn't look very fun to try and hold. So this is very much a kind of barn blitz first moment where holding outside of that little choke is very, very annoying.
The drop!
And wait a minute. Huge drop for the side of DDFC. Wholesome Chungus is definitely looking to take something through off of this. They're waiting for Raw and Cyber Wizard to come up, I believe. Great Blue is going to go down to the hands of Mr. Boomsnook. They haven't yet used their Uber, but they're sitting on full Uber ad, so they don't have to rip it anytime soon. They can be very careful with this. General Alias, I think they're waiting on him to try and be able to get some kind of sap play or something, but they are going to be coming through lower, most likely. General Alias will go down. Fog going to be able to get the Wii Remote pick on onto Fountain Man. Pyro peeking up top left, trying to grab the eyes of the Sentry. EKSD will be able to take down Crom, as we still have yet to see the Uber get popped on the side of DDFC. No.
Cole goes down to Fog Ballistic. The Wii remote drop comes in, is able to. Sorry, I got really excited there. I was hoping that would happen at some point, and it looks like it just did.
I could not believe that.
So Cole is going down, as well as Cyber Wizard and Ross. So hopefully that is the momentum shift that DDFC needs to be able to cap second. But looks like they're going to be waiting for their med, taking a moment. JPEG and Proc going down is going to make this a little more difficult. Again, they have the opening, but I don't know if they're going to be able to actually capitalize on it, especially with Gunsol being up from the side of the Chunguses. So again, waiting for their heavy, waiting for their demo, kind of just sitting around. Wii Remote yet again wins the SVS. It looks like he's warming up a little bit with this ulterior way to play the game. JPEG is coming in with the Uber ad. Sween able to get the gun. Not much else, but he has room. We need cap time in the background, though, if they actually want this to be anything. 4 down from the side of the Chunguses, though, means that Cole, 30 HP on top of it. It looks like DDFC should be able to cap the second point. Cole should be able to live unless something weird happens on the backup. But, looks like, yeah, especially with the food afterwards, it looks like the Chunguses are going to be able to get out. But Cole goes down to Proct with the Beggar's Bazooka!
Oh my god. Oh, that's going to be huge for DDSC, having 2 med picks there, giving you 2 potential Uber ad pushes. Great, fantastic bomb from Proct there with the Beggars, no less. So I think Anthony would be pretty proud of that one. Does look like we're going to be seeing DDFC trying to slowly inch their way forward. They don't want to bite off more than they can chew, take too much space, and overextend themselves. They also have to wait on this little turnstile. Looks like Cole going to go down again to the hands of General Alias. Collect My Pages, going to be able to find Cyber Wizard as well. So many picks. But drop as Fountain Man is able to get the trap off onto Eminix. They're going to lose 4, actually. So many people walking through that choke, gonna die for it. Sea Ravioli will die, but Raw gonna be able to find the demo as well. Mr. Boomsnut going down. This is detrimental.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I've been playing a lot of CS as of recently. You're meant to check your corners, but when it comes to the Uber, you're meant to use before you pop through the door, especially with how close they are in it. You kind of lose your mat off of that, unfortunately. We're going to be back to square one from the side of DDFC, and the Chunguses are not really going to be down anyone besides Ross. Cyber Wizard does win the SVS, so Fog Ballistics is down, as well as Collect My Pages in the background, so it's going to be even more difficult. You got to take a second here if you're the side of DDFC. It's been a very difficult offense, but if you're able to mentally reset, start getting those picks like on Cyber Wizard, and slowly inch the room forward, you really need to get that porch there up at the top if you actually want to be able to take this point, so we'll see what happens. 70% from the side of DDFC. In the background, Mr. Boom going down to Raw there, so no demo for this push if they want to elect to take the 15-20% ad. Collect My Pages also going down, as well as General Alias, so there isn't going to be much collapsing if they take this Uber, and it looks like they're just going to keep losing players, so it's going to even out. Call it 90%, as well as 3 down from the side of DDFC. MX Forces in the background here. I'm not immediately sure to what, but it looks like all just absolute chaos from both sides of the teams. Fountain Man does go down, but they're out full ad, so we'll see if that trade-off is actually going to do anything for them as the track swing comes to happen. I want the, Pyro Scout here, in my opinion, wouldn't be half bad. They're trying to get in. They need to get this Pyro if they want to get anything else, and it looks like that's not going to happen as Fountain Man does come up. They're able to keep the hold, but now they're down 30%. We'll see how they recover.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to really hold on to this, as with Cole being alive here, that is good, but, you know, they lose Cyber Wizard here. As Collect My Pages is going to be able to get it. It's going to be General Alias trying to go in. Will get the Sapper onto the gun, but isn't quite able to find anything. Lappy will go down. It's just General Alias dead for the side of DDFC, so they have time to try and go in. Raw's going to decloak and try and go for the demo, but will get spotted. Will not be taken down, though. Maybe we'll see a bomb coming in from Proct. He's whipping his players. Raw will probably die on the cart here. Yes, he will. Taken down by Proct here. Becker's Rocket goes in. They're going to be trying to Uber in. They're going to be trying to take this push, this Uber ad. It doesn't look too great for him, but Johnson's going to be able to take down Cole here, so maybe it can turn around. Great Blue going to go down to the hands of Johnson as well. Mr. Boom going to be able to find C Ravioli, and actually is going to be able to find the What and Crom here. They do manage to cap the point. 9-12 is the time to beat if they can't push past this point here, but I think they're going to have a pretty easy time coaxing this cart down the ramp and trying to get it into last, as pretty much all of the players are dead, but General Alias is looking to get in. Cyber Wizard is also behind, peeking out now. Maybe going to be able to find someone. Will find Fog Ballistic. No sniper alive for the side of DDFC. He's still there. No one knows where he is. He's just peeking for free. He hasn't been spotted yet. Somehow, some way. MNX peeking out wide. Very scary, but Collect My Pages will be able to find him and collect that kill. So that's a pretty good pick to have if you are on the side of DDFC, making sure their sniper
MNX
is dead. Oh,
MNX immediately dies to the demo there, unfortunately, so all that momentum is immediately shifted back to the side of the Chunguses here. MNX playing way too close for comfort to the round Fountain Man and pays the ultimate price for that. So Cole's going to be at around 60% ad when MNX comes back up. Again, they keep slowly getting room, but then a fatal mistake when it comes to either the medic's positioning or when they take the Uber timing or if they just don't at all, but it doesn't matter what they do. God. General Alias gets the pick on Cole and the heavy from the side of DDFC, and who am I meant to talk about when they're all dead? Crumb, C Raviol, and Lappy being the only ones up, so we'll see if maybe they're able to edge out any more time, and the spawn's coming out as well. Maybe a miracle could happen, but realistically speaking, DDFC...
Johnson!
And MNX goes down too, so Rockets 2 in the background! What is this? This is some goofy gameplay. Let's not troll this last push here, and they're able to cap 1045. This is the complete opposite of what we saw in the first half when it comes to pushing.
Yeah,
like
these first couple points were pretty brutal for DDFC's time. It took them 6 minutes just to get onto the second point, but they have, I mean, they've kind of found their footing, I think, at least in the latter end of that. But having to hold for 10:45 is going to be a tall task.
It's very grilling. You're gonna have to. I want to definitely see if I'm on the side of DDFC playing around those stagger picks, trying to see if maybe if you could keep them down permanently, but by 2, permanently by 3, and not having them get like a fairly comfortable or consistent like 9-man push is definitely going to be the key decider on if they're able to pull off the miracle hold and we see map 3, or if we're going to see a 2-0 map sweep from the side of the Chunguses. So see what happens. Another $10 donation coming in from the background. I noticed you. Thank you, by the way. Very much appreciated. All for charity. It's good. I like it. 10 seconds on the timer, though. We'll see what happens. And yeah, DDFC is really going to need to pick up pace if they want a chance at winning this half and winning this map.
Absolutely. Cyber Wizard going to take a good 100 damage right off the bat from Fog, who is still on that Wii Remote gameplay. Is getting jumped by a Pyro with the Thermal Thruster. Will get taken down by Crom and the What. Looks like Raw will get spotted. It's going to be Great Blue jumping in very deep. We'll be able to find Proct here as Fountain Man is able to take down the Sentry by Pope Squidly. It looks like they're getting a lot of early cap time, so DDFC showing that their offensive prowess is a little bit better than their defensive, at least for the time being. They were forced off of the cap here. I don't know if this point Sleet Reverse Fountain Man is potentially... Well, actually, wait a minute. Raw is in here, is spotted. Will get taken down. Fountain Man taken down as well.
But they do get the Uber out, which is amazing from the side of offense there. That base jumper really coming in clutch all the way in the skybox, getting the sticks on the med to get the force. So we'll see how the Chunguses play off of this Uber ad. The Scout's trying to go in for the clutch, and he gets the pick on Cole!
Oh my goodness.
Look at your medic is getting shot at. Turn around, please. But they don't, unfortunately. Their earbuds are in. They are not listening to their medic. And they're going to lose the beam here, so hopefully DDFC can play off of that and keep some time going. Fog Ballista going down in the background is going to mean that they aren't going to have the sniper or the scout for this next defense. Ubers aren't going to be at play for a little bit, so if the Chungus is going quick, that med drop isn't really going to matter. Fountain Man swinging. All these 6 are laying on the combo. The gun might have to go down soon here as the bonk comes in from the background. The What is going down on the side of the offense. 90% from the side of DDFC. Banner comes out as well. Gun is going to go down at the end here with Fountain Man swinging immediately afterwards. We'll see if the Uber comes out. And it does from the side of MNX, trying to see if they could get anything with it with the heavy Uber. Able to get a couple of picks, but not anything on the medic, so it looks like 50% ad is going to be on the side of DDFC. I mean, from the side of the Chunguses, and we'll see again if they're able to play off that, or if the Scout's gonna get the drop again.
Oh my
This time they paid attention.
Yeah, Collect My Pages was not quite able to find the second page there, if we'll describe it as such. Raw gonna be able to find Pope here. Does look like Lappy trying to push forward, drawing eyes as he's bonked in. Actually gets air blasted away, and that actually buys him some time to pull away from the fight as DDFC also just kind of withdraws there. It looks like the Wholesome Chunguses are going to be able to push their way in and start getting control of that point. It looks like the first point has been capped here, and Raw is in a little bit of a precarious position, but going to go for the decloak, looking for something, going to be able to find Pope Squiddly, not going to be able to not quite able to find anything else, but as I say that, he's going to be able to find Raw, or is going to be able to find Mr. Boom, but Pole goes down as well, so this is just not looking great for the side of DDFC at all. There's still 7:49 left on the clock as well for the Wholesome Chunguses to try and push through. This is enough time, or this is the amount of time they have to get to last. This is the amount of time left on the map itself. So they have quite an advantage in that regard. It is going to be General Alias Decloaking, going to be able to find Crom. Great Blue going to be going down to collect my pages as well. EKSD going to be dying, though, as Johnson tries to peek forward. We'll be able to find Lappy. We'll take down the nest built up by Crom. And I think at the moment, the Wholesome Chunguses are just looking to regroup for a moment and take this push off this big player ad that they have. Try and disrupt the nest that is currently set up and try and find themselves some footing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was going to say, when it comes to this push here, being down a couple, they have very slight ad, but it's going to be very interesting. They had the momentum. They just need to deal with the gun and the heavy around the corner, but they don't have multiple people peeking the same angle, so they got stuffed in the back there as Cole's up to 80%. Fountain Man and C Ravioli being down. That's going to make this push more difficult, but they're getting the cart a lot further than I thought they would. Power coming in for the back. We'll see if they're able to get the cart here and sneak the cap, but it doesn't look like it. Ubers are going to be even for this next push. Collect My Pages is going to be down here, but as Ubers both come up to 100%. Cyber Wizard has a very, very wide angle, is able to get Fog Ballistic again. Cap coming in very close here. Mr. Boom going down as well. The Uber's coming out through tracks. It's going to be a solo JPEG yet again for the side of DDFC, and the cap does come in for the side of the Chunguses. It looks like you're losing everyone, but you're able to get the cap, so honestly not a bad trade. 6 minutes for 2 points as we are approaching this next push. It looks like DDFC do want to keep holding second a little bit longer, though, seeing if they could get anybody else. So playing close, trying to play around this corner. Again, I'm not a huge fan of 9 people swinging that tiny corridor there. That's how you wipe. That's how your med dropped last time. So let's try something else, please. And thank you. As the Chunguses start to go a little wider. Fog Ballista going down in the background while Raw does die, though. He's able to get that sniper at least. Lots of damage coming out from the side of the Chunguses. MNX going down to 40 HP, really low, and Lappy gets the pick. So it looks like, again, both teams are losing a lot of players, but it's going to be in the favor of the Chunguses at the end. They're being up 6. Well, only Hope on Engineer is going to be the only one alive from the side of DDFC. And yeah, we're going to see a lot of aggression coming out soon from the side of the Chunguses. 90%. We'll see how they take it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're going to take this Uber in. Again, 90%, like you said, and they have a lot of time to coax this cart past the turntable and move it in, not the turntable, the turnstile rather, and coax it in and try to get into last. Again, they have 5 minutes left on the clock to make something happen, and it looks like they're trying to get in through this little corridor here, but they're sending everyone in. They pop earlier this time, learning their lesson from seeing the other team drop as they try to push through. It looks like General Alias trying to go in, but it looks like the What is able to turn around. It's just a wipe for the side of DDFC. They're not able to pick anyone off, and looks like, unfortunately for DDFC, they're going to be losing a lot of ground. They're going to lose this third point as well. I mean, it is entirely possible for DDFC to hold on to last for another 4 minutes, but if they'll be able to is a separate question. Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly have hope. Raw has decloaked, is looking to go in. We'll be able to find Fog Ballistic. So this kind of ruins their outside hold, whatever, scraps of that they were hoping to put together on the side of DDFC. And now with Mr. Boom dying as well, there's just not a lot they can do. Great Blue will also go down. General Alias will trade out. Collect My Pages now dying as well. Raw is in a position to decloak, goes for it, but beefs the jump, tries to jump in and get EKSD, but isn't going to be successful. Raw will go down. The cart is slowly but surely making its way inside of last. It looks looks like Lappy just trying to draw attention from that gun while bonked, but it didn't target him. Sentry will eventually go down by Proc. Fog Ballistic going to go down, so will General Aurelius. A nice reflect going in onto Lappy. They will be able to take him down. Cyber Wizard dying, EKSD Pub Squiddly dying as well. It looks like Chungus has the better end of this push here, but they lose
I don't know about that.
Now, wow, as soon as I say it, I guess Caster's Curse or something, they immediately crumbled and pretty much all died, but the cart's right there. They have 3 minutes to get it in.
DDFC was able to kite that very well, able to get the Uber out and then gets the team wipe for it. Being at 20% ad here, you're at 3 minutes. Like I said, you need to find some kind of savior, some kind of momentum, something to latch onto to, keep the mental, keep the focus on holding for these last 3 minutes here. Again, this is only one half, so this is do or die from the side of DDFC. If they want to keep playing, if they want to go to the third map, they need to hold this. 255 here as Ubers are still not in play, 50% on both sides as the gun comes back up. This is a relatively stable hold for the side of DDFC, so we'll see how the Chunguses want to sort of come in here as Cyber Boys are going down. It's going to make it a little more difficult as well. See Ravioli going to dying in the background. Collect by Pages getting the 5k, able to get them both is definitely going to make this hold even more stable. Dies eventually, but Ra is also down. Proc does also go down, which is huge in my opinion, especially on last defense. You need to be playing around those banners, and now you're not going to have that. Bonk is going to come in, trying to get that gun for the Uber to come through. No one's going to be shooting the gun, though, so this Bonk is effectively null and void. Uber's coming out from the side of the right there. General Alias going down in the background, so the defense is already down by 3. They're electing to hold on to their Uber for longer and longer. Finally pop it, but they're already down 5. They do get a couple of spawners in the background, though. The Great Blue and multiple players, 4 now down from the side of the offense here, as it looks like there definitely is a possibility for DDFC to still hold on. Well, there's 2 minutes remaining. Fighterman is trying to not have that happen, though. As MNX goes down in the background. 7 down from the side of DDFC. JPEG needs to somehow hold on to this for his teammates to spawn in here. Collect by Pages goes for the 1v1 with the Wood, is not able to get it. The Wood is able to go down, goes down to really low HP, so they're able to immediately swing, as it looks like off of the backs of the Red Scout of Collect by Pages and JPEG, they are able to somewhat stabilize. Being at 30 deaths out, though, means the Uber is going to come out very soon from the side of the Chunguses. This is going to be one of the last couple of pushes that we see on whether or not who's going to take this map. We'll see what happens. Great Blue going down in the background.
Yeah, it's pretty much all up to the Chunguses here. They have a minute 20. This is absolutely holdable by DDFC if they play their cards right. They take down 3, so that's going to buy them another 15, 20 seconds of time. So they're going to get the amount of time left on the map to sub 1 minute. They're going to get it to about probably 55. But before the Wholesome Chunguses decide they want to push in. I don't know how they're going to take it. I don't know if they're going to be passive. I don't know if they're going to be slow or if they're just going to try and rip it very fast. Maybe they go for some kind of demo bomb. I don't know, but they're going to be popping right now through that same door. We've seen them take the last couple through. They're trying to take down the sniper very quickly. Fog has yet to die yet, though, on 13 HP. Fog finally going down. The sentry's down as well. They're getting a lot of good cart time, but EKSD drops down. The counter pop comes out. The Wholesome Chunguses are managing to stay on top of this, at least for the time being, though, as there's only 3 players left alive. All they have to do is get some good damage onto JPEG here. It looks like Big Bomb coming in from C Ravioli. He gets MNX, but JPEG with the 10 kill streak is able to get C Ravioli. He's pushing everybody off of the cart here. He's the last man standing, the last bastion, if you will, but he has spawners. It looks like DDFC may just be able to hold on to this point and claim victory as 10 seconds remain, but the pub push coming in from the Wholesome Chunguses. They're all dying on top of the cart, though. Fountain Man not looking towards it, not going to be able to pipe anyone or get any stickies. 1 second left, and DDFC holds on by against all odds, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. Will be able to win on Divulgence.
That last hold, that last fight, JPEG ate at least 1,500 damage, considering both the Uber and the taking afterwards. Effectively, just again able to get on that 10k at the end there. It takes like that 2v5 there, holding on to the Uber. There was definitely, again, they were able to kite it over and over and over again from the side of DDFC, and the Chunguses just kept trying to headbutt their way through over and over and over again, not really doing anything different when it comes to each of the pushes. And DDFC is going to be able to, off of a 10:45 offense, off of having to hold last for 5 minutes, take it to map 3. I'm curious about these logs, though, as I gonna have to reset my TF2 for just a moment here. Gotta be looking at the logs. That was an insane game. Again, that last hold from the side of DDFC definitely one for the ages. Top damage is going to be coming in from the side of JPEG, though. 481 DPM, 32 and 13 as well, getting 50% of the beam yet again, playing around that heavy, but this time it is able to work out for them. Those Ubers being very clutch. Again, like, I cannot stress it enough, the fact that Eminix was able to live over and over and over again during these ad Ubers, able to kite with that disc, able to get that Uber and immediately come back. The rest of the players that were still alive on the side of DDFC able to play off of that and collapse well and kill basically the entire team of the Chunguses over and over and over again. That's textbook right there if you're trying to hold for 5 minutes on last. Again, great stuff. Top frag is, though, collect my pages. He gets 33 compared to JPEG's 32. And top frag from the Chunguses is going to be raw 25 and 26. So looking at other things when it comes to the med deaths were relatively even. Again, extremely close game that could have went in either team's favor. I still trying to process that those last couple of minutes there. That is absolutely insane. Again, like, this next map is going to be the defining map, the pinnacle. This is the tiebreaker. Whoever wins this next map wins the match as a whole. And yet again, I need to mention that this is for charity. They are putting in their all for your entertainment. Pay it forward, so to speak. It's got a couple of minutes. QR code is in the top left of your screen. There's also the link underneath, down at the bottom right, that tiny URL link, and you can type !donate in the chat. That is a game for the ages. Please, let's make it worth it, and let's get to that $2,500 goal. Again, I think we can hit 1,500 by the end of the night. Also, if you have the competitive, get NA above EU in terms of donations today, I believe. But yeah, thank you. That was an insane game. I'm having to boot up my TF2 here in the background, so I'm not able to immediately tab back into the logs. But yeah, as someone who mains heavy, I played at least 10, 11, 12 seasons on that class, and my secondary being Spy. Like, being able to just maintain and, like, keep your health, the way that JPEG was playing around, especially the corners during a lot of those, like, last scrappy fights, so those 3v3s at the end that would have decided who was able to get the cart. Is just able to slow it down. As long as you're able to get those spawns, since they're right there, the second your players are up, they're able to fight. If you're looking at offense, they have some time to roll out. So while your spawns are longer, if you're able to hold out for that little bit of time, you're going to have a better and more coordinated refight. So again, just amazing plays from both teams, respectively. Again, we saw both meds combined drop 7 times. We're seeing, Hail Marys coming in from both sides, that back and forth over and over and over again. I really feel as though as we're going to this Koth, it's going to be about who is able to keep their meta alive more. And again, these Ubers are definitely like the defining trait of this game. Not really as much on the pick classes per se, but definitely on those combo v combo, fights. And if whichever team is able to play that better. Again, as we saw on Koth, DDFC was having a lot of issues getting anyone besides their heavy and the Uber. And on Koth, that's even worse than in Payload. Payload, it's definitely more congested. It's harder to, back up and, get out, so to speak. So the heavy Ubers are a little better, especially on the side of defense, where they kind of have to get in, walk in, so to speak. They have to run into the heavy if they want anything. But yeah, for Koth, you aren't really able to do that. I think I might have seen something similar to this map, though. I might have played this in 4s. I know the yapping session is going very hard. I think my play-by-play, Eki, I do not know how to pronounce names, but I'm pretty sure they'll be back very soon.
I've been here.
Oh, my bad. Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm through my 4th water bottle, by the way. I've went through like a liter at this point, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I had to head to the bathroom. I went through my 3rd water bottle here. I drank a Monster as well after that first game. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know if there's much for me to cover. After everything you talked about. But I think a map this kind of maybe reminds you of is possibly Valor, the map with the well in the middle of the point. It has a very similar kind of similar layout, not 1-to-1, because on Valor the point is just open. It's just 2 stairwells up to the point. But I think this, maybe more than the first Koth map, kind of makes me think of Prue, mostly because of the giant building separating the 2 stairs on the point. But one thing I know you mentioned earlier, the ducks that were hidden on some maps. If you go to the like caged in tree on the blue side and you look in one of the corners, there's two little ducks here that are a little heavy duck and a medic duck having a fantastic time
I
sharing
like that.
sharing a little smooch in the caged tree thingy. Why is this tree caged? We may never know. But
I don't like the pyroduck. I saw
Wait, where's
cameras
the
on for a
pyroduck?
second. The pyroduck is currently in the red house, near the point. I don't like the way he's looking at me. I'm very scared for my safety. But I was gonna say something that we saw. Remember in the post game interviews from the side of the amazing the digital. That team, the Scary Broccoli team. As I pull up my team names here, the Maging Digital Mercs. Thank you, the spreadsheet, for helping me out with that. But this is way more closed off. Sniper had a lot more angles on Convergence than he would on Neotropic. So it's definitely going to be a lot more around combo play, like I keep mentioning over and over again. But it's like even more exemplified. You know, pick classes haven't really been the key players in this game, but they're going to be even more nullified considering how claustrophobic and congested this map is. Definitely, if I'm on the side of DDFC, I'm liking that. With how much they're playing around, they're having the 50% beam Putis theory. So it's going to be interesting here. Both teams have 9, so we'll see when they come in. Hopefully, we're able to ready up sooner rather than later. But yeah, I was going to say, I was talking before at the start about Easter eggs on the maps, and it looks like this one definitely has a lot more of those subtle details to it. There's like a whole like what are those, like pin boards with all the pictures on it? Like next to the point of the left of it, you know, with the conspiratorial, like, you know, lines connected to everything, how it all adds up. Same thing with there's some behind that forklift. I don't know what that is. It's like someone's OC. Why is someone's OC in this map? Is that like a map creator? I don't know. I see. Okay, but yeah, so we'll see. Also, I'm looking around at like the water section of the map. I did not realize until just now there are packs. Can the classes climb up those ladders and get all the way into the top left of the map? You see the lighthouses that I'm talking about? In the water to the right side of the point. Each of them have a medium pack on top of it. There are ladders that go up into it. Are you actually able to climb those, or are those just like, is that pack just there for the soldier?
I'm fairly certain that pack is just there for whoever can jump up to it, because unless they have some like custom code in this that makes ladders work, unfortunately, TF2 does not let you climb up ladders. So I mean, maybe they do have some kind of custom code, and whoever can climb up there can climb up there.
I've seen a custom map semi-recently that has that, but I'm not sure. But again, I don't go. I was gonna say game's going, so go for it. But it's gonna be starting up.
Yeah, but it's also, that room has no inside like textures or anything, and the spot where you climb up is cut off, so I don't think they have the custom code that lets you climb up those ladders. But we are going live on this first round of Neotropic, however you say it. Either way, this map is beautiful, eats my FPS alive, but beautiful nonetheless. We will be having General Alias going deep already, trying to find themselves in a position to get some kind of pick. It looks like Cyber Wizard is going to go down here already, just not quite able to do anything. He's actually up on heavy as opposed to the sniper that he was playing on beforehand, and it looks like right off the bat, Wholesome Chungus going to be able to actually, I believe the team names are swapped here.
DDFC, it looks like they're the ones capping right now. I was gonna say Cyber Wizard looks like the what had to leave, so whoever Shrump is on sniper now, and you have Cyber Wizard on heavy. So DDFC are going to be able to cap this, but the Chunguses are relatively close here, especially with that telly. They should be able to refight immediately. Not many picks coming out. Shrump going down in the background as well as Crumb is going to make this push a lot more difficult, though. Being down 3 as well as both picks, as well as MNX being at full Uber here. So we'll see if the Chunguses are able to get that Uber out, and they do. JPEG's immediately going in, trying to get the medic, but the deny for the Pyro might be able to save it. Spy nearby the medic, but it looks like the medic gets out just in time Fountain is going to go down as well as Great Blue, but that's really about it, and they have an Uber ad. Honestly, great. If I'm on the Chunguses, I'm very happy with how that Uber went from their point of view.
Absolutely, I would be very satisfied with the amount of value I'm able to get off of that Uber. Maintaining control of the point, getting down 45 seconds. Gonna get down to about a minute here soon. Looks like we're gonna be seeing the sniper on the side of the Wholesome Chunguses go down. Schwamp will die. Fountain Man dying as well. See Ravioli too. 4 players going down there. Not ideal if you want to try and take some kind of push in, especially while you're sitting on that Uber ad. You're kind of, it's dwindling at this point. You don't really have much. It's 20%. You could maybe still rip it if you just tell your beam, you know, you have to focus. You have to focus down the enemy team's medic very, very hard and try and get them before the Uber comes up. But it looks like it is going to even out. They don't push fast enough. They are finally going to pop as they walk over top of that point. But the Sentry doing a lot of work in preventing them from actually pushing any further. Doesn't yet go down. It looks like Mr. Boom going to be able to find 2 in the backline of that Uber. Schwamp going to go down as well. Proct is going to be one of the few players dying inside of that Uber. But in the post, they're going to be losing quite a few players as they lose 4 on the side of DDFC. But I don't really think it matters all that much as we do have, I believe, this General Alias alive behind. Tries to go for backstab, but will not be able to get anything. Cyber Wizard chasing him down with the Gru, but isn't quite able to find that pick. And DDFC will maintain control over the cap here, giving themselves a 2-minute lead.
For sure. I was going to say the Uber does come out, though, so it looks like Cole is played way too close for comfort as it goes down as well as Cyber Wizard off the JPEG solo Uber. I was going to say that was Uber looked really bad, and then all of a sudden Cole decides to walk in front of the Putis. You're not meant to do that, but Eminix does go down in the background. Not immediately sure who got him as I was paying attention to whatever happened on the side of the Chunguses, but at least they're able to get Eminix down, so this push should be a little more comfortable. Cyber Wizard going down on the side of the Chunguses is going to make this even more difficult as they're already down 2.5 minutes. They need to get this point as soon as humanly possible, hopefully not get it to overtime and have to effectively reverse sweep this point for this round as they are trying to walk up on the right. Both pick classes are down on the side of the Chunguses though, so this is going to be difficult. Scott's coming in trying to get Cole. Cole's down to 60 HP, but it looks like he's still going to be able to live. Fountain Man does go down to the background though, so it's mainly going to be around this heavy on the Pyro when it comes to the push through the right side of the point. Being at 60 ad as well, neither team has Uber yet though, so it looks like they're able to cap this. DDFC do go down by 4, and they're going to have to regroup around the house here. We'll see if they're able to keep their med up, as it looks like they're kind of getting shoved out a little bit. Soldier coming in, get Cole with the drop, as well as a secondary picks coming out as well. The Chunguses are already down by 4 now, are able to get JPEG and I guess a couple of secondary picks, but it looks like if I'm on the side of the DDFC, I'm walking in now. I did not realize that shutter opened until just now as Cyber was trying to play that head glitch, but it looks like he's getting trapped off. Cap's going to be coming in, 3 seconds remaining, and realistically, DDFC caps this unless something horrible happens. They're going to get the first round.
Yeah, DDFC put up a very great fight there, only forfeiting about 40 seconds almost worth of time. I believe it was Proct there who just came in with an absolutely nuclear bomb, able to take down Cole, getting themselves a drop. I think that pretty much secured the dub for DDFC there. I don't think they would have lost if he didn't get it. They probably would have won either way. But, you know, anything is possible. We did see, you know, a 5-minute hold from DDFC prior. You know, maybe they could have lost their spark or something there, but I don't really think that matters as we are on Neotropic. We're not on Divulgence anymore. It's not Payload, it's Koth, and from what we've seen them do on Koth, we've seen them play pretty well.
DDFC's just allowing the Chunguses to come in here, like slowly walking into him. Cyber Wizard and Cole both go down to JPEG. So again, we saw a lot of aggression coming in from the top left there from the side of the Chunguses, but it's not really going to matter if they keep running their heads into the wall over and over and over again, slowly losing those players. And they do get JPEG, but that's about it. It should be not only full ad, but cap for the mid in favor of DDFC unless something happens. I do see the Spidey Cloak in the background, possibly able to get something, but does not immediately, gets bumped and goes down in the background. So 3 down on the side of the Chunguses. We'll see if they're able to possibly get a force out. Looks like they want to go for a sack here. Absolutely to the skybox from Fountain Man. We'll see if he gets anything all the way in the back though. Trying to get behind is trapping off their spawn. Interesting play. We'll see how it works out for them, and immediately gets collected by Mr. Pages himself. Again, no Ubers have come out yet. Still, Uber, well, just now, JPEG's coming in, trying to get Cole. Cole's going down to 50, to 40, to 20, and he might be able to live at 22 HP. We'll see if the rest of the players on Chungus is, if they can live, but Cole is able to somehow live that. I thought he was for sure dead, but he's going to live. They're going to have Ad down a minute in terms of time, but we'll see how this push goes.
Yeah, I mean, being down a minute isn't the end of the world. You can absolutely come back from that and get yourself some time on the board. I mean, I've seen crazier comebacks in my day. I've seen some, overtime comebacks, but it looks like General Alias is going to be decloaking, trying to go in, not going to be able to hit the trick stab onto Cyber Wizard, though, and will go down. Does look like Proct is very low. Will probably end up dying here sometime soon, but actually I think manages to live with just 5 HP. Uber does come out from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses, trying to get themselves established on the point, and they will be successful in capping, but whether or not they'll be successful in managing to hold on to it is the real question, as with a lot of the players on DDFC being dead, they're going to be able to maybe maintain control of the cap for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, at most 20 more seconds before DDFC comes back in swinging with full force. I mean, it's going to be an even Uber fight, as it's 20 disad for DDFC, but 20 disad is, only 20, and they're pretty much even at this current moment. So anything is on the table for DDFC to try and do, especially with the time ad that they have. They may be down an Uber, but they're up in time. And it looks like they're trying to position themselves in this house and just try and slowly push through. They're not trying to, go too fast. And it went from being 20 disad to actually being pretty much evens, almost exactly even, actually. 4 players are dead for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses, and only 2 for the side of DDFC, so we're just kind of waiting on them to use through, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Uber's looking a little bit better for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses, as the beam actually has no Uber target. Cole is getting juggled around and thrown around on the point like a volleyball here, really. I mean, there's only so much you can do. Cyber Wizard will go down, and so will Raw, as DDFC manages to get themselves out onto the point, even with a later fading, or with an earlier fading Uber there. Somehow, some way, they're able to claw themselves back onto the point, but Eminix did die, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, Raw was able to get Eminix there, immediately trades out for it, so it's going to be a relatively fast repush from the side of the Chunguses here. Time is relatively dead even, and Raw's able to get the Pyro pick on top of it too, so, well, this should be, we should be seeing them walk anytime soon here, but they seem to just be kind of twiddling their thumbs behind the house, not really knowing what to do. See Ravioli's trying to get some room, as well as Mr. Boom, and collect my pages, and General Alias going down. That's 5 down from the side of DDFC. The Mets kind of having to hide in the corner here, as they're definitely going to lose the point. We'll see if they lose their Met on top of it, as the Soldier gets Eminix. See Ravioli killing Eminix in the last couple of seconds. The fight there is Red Medic kind of gets stuck in a corner, and it's going to be full ad from the side of the Chunguses. Being down only 20 seconds, definitely looking to be in the favor of the Chunguses here. Again, like, relatively early into the game. This is only the second round, so we'll see what happens. But if I'm the side of DDFC, I'm trying to figure out some way to get into the point, get some entry, and they already do with Mr. Wii Remote himself getting a pick on Fountain Man. So we'll see what happens. Cole does have full Uber, and he drops Never Mind! Collect my pages, goes in for another med drop. Just immediately running in, takes the 1v5 against the Medic, so JPEG is immediately going to see that, and has his combo swing onto the point. Great Blue in the skybox with the backburner, and he's going to possibly get the med. Yes, he does! Yet again, salvaging and gets the med pick during the fainting seconds of this fight, and it looks like, realistically, DDFC should still be able to cap what they are down multiple people, so we'll see what happens from the side of the Chungus as I slowly lose breath. And yeah, DDFC is going to be able to cap this, but at what cost? As they're already down 5, and it looks like the Chungus should be able to recap.
Yeah, the Wholesome Chunguses are in a good position to recap the point here and get themselves even further gap in the time ad, looking to get themselves around on the board, trying to tie the scoreline up with DDFC. And they are successful in capping, but the real question is, will they be able to hold with this coming DDFC push? Does look like Great Blue going in the skybox, going to be strafing in, going to be lighting the entire combo on fire, getting a lot of damage, will get taken down for it, but 20 seconds left and counting for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses to maintain control of the point, but so many of them are dead, I don't think they'll be able to hold on to it for very, very long, but maybe they will. But as soon as I say that, a couple more of their players do end up going down. They lose their sentry, so it does look like DDFC will be able to move into the point and cap it, but not before this goes into overtime for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses, so they can kind of slow it down a little bit before they go in for their next push. They can take their time and kind of they can come up with some kind of strat, figure out what they want to do. Does look like Fountain Man going to be able to get the Caber kill onto Fog with.
Well, does go down to
crit
the
there as
background
well.
of General for the second time. Just to note that, so to speak. Sorry for interrupting you there. It's just he keeps getting picks in the background. Both teams cannot afford to keep their medic alive. It's even to save their life, no matter what happens, both meds keep going down. And MNX does that full ad, so 20 seconds remaining from the side of... I mean, Ubers are immediately going to come out, though. Good force from the side of Cyber Wizard is able to get their the Uber out from the side of DDFC. Great Blue's trying to get in the background, see if he gets anything. It looks like it's only going to be the teleporter, as the Chungus is already down by 4. But they DDFC does not have their demo, so we'll see if maybe something's able to happen. It's only the soldier, though. So it looks like realistically DDFC is going to be able to hold on to this, and they're on match point. If Red is able to get one more round, just one more, they'll win the match. The Chunkuses are going to have to reverse sweep if they want to win this. And again, it's just this is like a 1-to-1 drop to Uber ratio type game. Like neither team's med will live for more than 10 seconds. As the mid's going to come out though, so.
Yeah, and I would like to point out that Fog is still still on that Wii remote. Does look like Great Blue gonna try and go in deep. We'll get a lot of damage, but not really gonna net any kills for it. Shromp gonna go down as well, but looks like Raw, C, Ravioli, and Fountain Man gonna be able to trade out for it. Raw will die to the hands of JPEG. Crom taking down that sentry, giving the Wholesome Chunguses that extra little bit of security, trying to push into that point. We do have General Alias inside of this little thingy that I can't think of the word for by the crates. Will get spotted by Great Blue, though, as they do the spy check. Will be able to take him down. Fog actually killed somebody else. I'm not sure who he was able to take down. I believe it was Shromp, if I'm not mistaken. C Ravioli will get taken down by JPEG. Great Blue gonna go in. Will get the backburner kill onto Eminix. Will get traded out by JPEG, but massive kill for the Wholesome Chunguses to have, as they are able to remove Eminix from the equation. Big bomb from Croc, though, as he's able to get Lappy and Cole. Cyber Wizard going down in the tail end of that fight as well. Crom gonna be able to find Proc in EKSD, but I think it's too late. Cole is already dead, and it looks like DDFC is gonna be able to convert the convert the cap.
Yeah, I was going to say, only taking 45 seconds to push that. In the background, I can hear Mr. Slyn rolling in his grave. Pop it, don't drop it does not exist in 2025. As both meds seem to be going down over and over again. Great Blue again, great picks in the background there during that small hold. It looks like he's going to be trying to go in for another one, though, as they're trying to slowly swing from the top right there on that little perch, looking onto the point. Spy trying to go in the background, trying to get Mr. Boom. Doesn't seem to be able to get his General as he goes down there, not able to get the pick that he wanted. General Alias going down in the background. Fog Ballistic also going down there, so this hold is definitely getting more difficult. Both of your picks are down. Eminix down to 40 HP, so we'll see if the med is able to live 90%, and now down 4 for the side of DDFC. They're going to be taking a JPEG Uber any moment now as the heavy swings. Uber comes out, able to get the Pyro. Not sure if he's going to be able to get much else unless someone runs into him, so it's going to be a relatively just trying to keep the point. Hopefully they're able to get Blue med to use out here as they walk. Otherwise, it was definitely a very unfortunate circumstance for the side of DDFC. Soldier's trying to go in, but immediately gets denied, but the heavy is still able to live, though. So 90% from the side of the Chunguses. We'll see if they're able to keep their med up for once, please. I really hope. I'm really hoping. As Fog Ballista goes down to the background, Karam also going down. Both teams are losing players left and right. Down 4 from the side of the Chunguses, but Cole still has Uber. We'll see down by 5 now, as Cole still is only really around as the heavy and is going to use. That's going to be a solo on the Prutus here. Is able to get a clip by Pages, and Eminix goes down to the background as I'm trying to see if Cole's going to die or not. This is going to be a solo heavy, though. Cole is way too far in. We'll see if he's able to live, though, and possibly off the side of the engineer, the soldier behind, but he's not going to die, and it looks like Ubers are going to be the same, but we're trying to just get the points by in the background, possibly getting the demo. Does maybe the medic? The medic!
Oh my goodness. Manages to find Cole there. Bigly earned with that big earner. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, it's just it's med death after med death after med death with these teams here. I mean they're playing around it the best they can. I do believe Raw is looking to go in for another decloak. Will decloak on top of that roof, just kind of waiting for DDFC to push in through this doorway. They still have control over the point, so it is really, the ball is in the Wholesome Chungus' court here. They have to try and push in here. Great Blue gonna try and go in deep, but will get mulched by that heavy push, or their thermal thruster jump is kind of taken down. They will be able to find Pope here. Fog will go down to the hands of Raw. Shrump dying though, so no sniper for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses, but I don't really think that matters. They are down a minute worth of cap time. I think they're just waiting. They're biding their time. Big bomb from Proc though takes down Cole. They lose all of that Uber ad, and I think that may just slow them down enough to not be able to convert the cap.
I mean, it looks like Cole also, MNX also going down in the background to Raw. Good step from him. Means that the Chungus as well, very, very scrappy, and also having to delay multiple players are able to get the cap being down a minute, though. Again, if they lose this round, they lose the entire game. This General Alias is coming in from the background, making sure that this is going to be a 3 and done. Trying to get on Crom, but immediately goes down. Is not able to convert for a second pick. Great Blue trying to go in. Gets MNX again for the 5th, 6th, 7th. I can't even count how many times as they're trying to immediately see if they can get some kind of salvage off of that. Yet again, MNX going down to the back burner, Pyro. These players don't look up. As it looks like we're going to see a fairly stabilized. Never mind. There goes Colt. Why even talk? All right, you have the floor.
I mean, like I said earlier, these meds just keep dying one after another. I mean, I think there's more med deaths than Ubers in these games here. And I mean, while that may be true for most games you play, like I think in this one it is definitely the case where there is a sizable number of deaths higher than the amount of Ubers that come out. Great Blue going in for another bomb. Will not be able to find anyone though. Will actually help Lappy pick off Proct here. It is time ad now ever so slightly for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses at 20 seconds and counting. DDFC has to go in sometime soon and try and get on that cap. They're trying to slowly peek their way in. Med peeking out that wide is very, very scary. The Wholesome Chunguses may actually be able to hold on to this point as it's just Mr. Boom trying to fight the objective right now. Does look like a big bomb coming in from the side of C Ravioli. Will fade over to the top of the shack there, though. Great Blue does die behind, and I think big bomb coming in again. Tries to go for a spoon, I believe is what they tried there, but is not successful. Point is in the hands of DDFC. So many players are dead for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses here, and now Shrump dying very late. It's General Alias getting caught out, will have to decloak there and will get taken down. DDFC 10 seconds left. Great Blue looking to go in with the thermal thruster, jumping forward now, landing behind the entire team, lighting everyone on fire. Will get taken down here though. It's all up to the Wholesome Chunguses here. Uber does get popped from the side of DDFC. They're just trying to look to maintain control of the point, and I think that's exactly what they're going to be able to do, as it's just Crom trying to push onto the point now. There's only so much he can do. He's one lone engineer, the Lone Star, not quite able to make anything happen, and DDFC will manage to win the best of 3 series with 2 maps. A very, very crazy comeback starting on Divulgence of all places and carrying over into Neotropic.
You get swept on the first map. You have to hold for 11 minutes. You have to hold last for 5 minutes. You hold last for 5 minutes when you have like 3 players up. And then all of a sudden you just sweep on Neotropic off of the back of the JPEG Buddhist. Like I was saying before, this map is so claustrophobic that playing around your heavy is going to be a lot less detrimental on this map compared to others. As I try and tab over into the logs here, I'm expecting a nuke and 50% beam. Is that what I get? It is 45 and 8 with 600 DPM. Still someone going damage positive when you're almost taking 600 damage a minute. And yet again, 52%, 52% on the heavy there. Looking at med deaths, 14 and 12 respectively from Cole and MNX. Yeah, we saw 12 Ubers to 26 med deaths. So that was definitely a little rough on that side. Again, I wouldn't 100% put it all on the meds. The majority of like med deaths, at least from what I've seen over the years, is like, you know, it's not just where the med is or what the med is doing. It's the coordination of the rest of your team. It's the like, are your class is able to actually like, is your pyro, is your heavy, etc., actually protecting your med, etc., etc. It's more of a team coordination thing rather than just any specific one player. But DDFC, amazing comeback, amazing game for them on the side of Neo, on Neotropic there on the decider map. But again, 45 and 8 from the side of JPEG. Top frag for the Chunguses will be C Ravioli at 19 and 18, but I mean, JPEG has like a third of the enemy team's picks, respectively. Man, like that's a hard hill to climb.
Mhm. I mean, that's 45 kills. Who's the second next one? To collect my pages with 33. I mean, it's a tall task to try and beat 45 kills, even while you're not consciously trying to do it. I think JPEG is just kind of like obliterating. Really, I mean, yeah, they're just mowing down whatever's in front of them. But I do believe we are going to be doing some post game interviews with. If I'm not mistaken, the Wholesome Chunguses first up, and then we will look at some players from DDFC. That'll be happening shortly. Not right away. We still have a little bit until that happens, but in just a few moments, we will have some players from the Wholesome Chunguses coming in. We'll be doing a little bit of a post game interview with them and getting their thoughts, the maps, how much fun they had, and what it was like really to just have JPEG kind of mowing everyone down. I mean, he just had so much damage. I feel like he got robbed out of a lot of assists as well. I feel like he had so much damage that just kind of didn't get picked up.
No, definitely for sure. I mean, again, like 600 DPM, I've not seen that from a heavy in a very, very long time. But I mean, it's Seasonalander, right? Like anything can happen. Just trying to check something with the people up above with the production here on if we're going immediately to interviews or not. So, but no, amazing game from the side of DDFC, and it looks like we're going to be going immediately into interviews. So, what team are we doing first? Do we do okay? Yeah, okay. So we're going to be doing the Wholesome Chunguses,
Hello.
Lappy and C.
Hello.
Pretty sure Scout and Soldier respectively from them. How's it going?
Hey,
How did you guys feel about the maps? How do you feel about the game?
Do you want to go first?
Let's see. Yeah, sure. Map 1 was pretty fun. We had a pretty clean 3-0. I feel like there was a lot of room to move around. Payload was also pretty fun. Really close game. Like, I feel like just a couple more frags, we probably could have gotten it. Map 3 was a little more difficult for us. We noticed some frame drops. A lot of people were complaining about their frames, and it was a little hard to coordinate. The heavy head glitch
I
was
think map knowledge as well. The map knowledge was
Yeah.
pretty low on all of us. Like I had no clue where I was going most of the time, which is just maybe not no
Yeah.
clue where I was going, but no clue where I should
We scattered
be,
around a
which
lot.
was on me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of focus fire on our med. We probably could have played better, but overall, it was still a good time.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I was gonna say. I mean, 3 maps. I've had my fair share of those going down to the wire. I was gonna say, how did you guys keep the energy and calm, so to speak? What was that environment, especially going into the 3rd map, off of like that very, very close payload going into Neo? I guess what was immediately the mindset there? How did you guys reset?
I think we had pretty good vibes, honestly. Raw was doing like insane amounts of work, doing like with really, really
Yeah.
good calls and strategies. And I think that helped us a lot. Like that was why we did so good on the 2nd map. Not that we won, but that's why we even were doing as good as we did. And just I think having good comms was probably our biggest thing.
Making a lot of Pootis jokes beforehand. Definitely got our energy up as well.
I was gonna say I can't diss it. You gotta keep the mental somehow. I was gonna say, I mean, biggest thing is, did you guys have fun? How was it playing that series?
I haven't really played Highlander super seriously before. I used to play a lot of 6s. I'm not a huge fan of Highlander, but they're all pretty fun. Admittedly, not as much fun on map 3 because we did get our asses handed to us. But overall, pretty enjoyable experience. I still do prefer 6s pretty heavily, but it wasn't bad for Highlander.
I had a lot of fun. I think this is only my 2nd Seasonalander, and it was a great time. I love the team. It was super good vibes. And it was just overall really fun. I'm not a competitive player, so no comparison to like 6s or Highlander or anything, but was a great time. Get some good experience, and it makes me wish I could play competitive if I had time. But here we are.
Oh, you know what? Shoutouts to Team Fortress 2 Coaching Central Newbie Cup. If you do want to try out some sixes, you could sign up for that, and you'll have a coach, and you'll play sixes
Oh,
for the
there you
first
go.
time.
True.
So big shoutouts to them.
Eki, you got anything? I know, kind of was yapping a bit there.
I don't know. I feel like you covered all the bases. I guess really the only thing I could ask is, besides maybe map knowledge and of course the heavy head glitch and the FPS drops for the final map, was there anything you feel like was like a major roadblock or something that kind of prevented you guys from getting it as close as I feel like you guys could have got it?
On
JPEG?
map 3 or just in general?
I mean, in
Shoutouts
general,
JPEG.
but especially map 3, because it felt like on map 3 you guys were getting it like, I mean, obviously the frame drops on map 3 and the heavy head glitch and everything. You guys seem to be taking it much, much closer on map 1 and on payload, but for this one, it just seemed like there was a major roadblock that was preventing you from like getting in as often as you were able to in the first and second map.
It was really hard to kind of coordinate where we were going. There's a lot of different intricate areas to the map, and it generally made it hard to call out where we wanted to go, where we were being attacked. Like I said earlier, a lot of focus fire on our med. Definitely made it hard to push up. We didn't have a lot of Ubers, but overall, I don't like blaming the map, but I do feel like there was a lot of spreading out happening on that map, which made it kind of hard for a Highlander setting, where I kind of wish there was more coordination. We were trying our best, we couldn't coordinate as much as we wanted to, say on, what was the first map called? Conveyance?
Convergence, I believe.
Convergence, yeah. I feel like we could coordinate a lot better on
conveyance.
Convergence.
It is conveyance. My bad. My apologies.
Oh,
it is
okay.
conveyance.
Sorry, I'm goated. Conveyance.
I was gonna say, any last thoughts or notes? Because I'm pretty sure after that we're gonna be switching over to DDFC.
Yeah, JPEG or not JPEG. Sorry, JPEG was great. General Alias didn't get a breast milk stab on me. That's great. That's all I wanted.
I'm
so
sorry,
I
what now?
won in my heart.
What?
Breast milk stab.
I think
Is
you might
that
have
what the
to
kids are calling
educate
Spy these
the
days?
folks here.
It's
what that
really
is.
really advanced spy technique. If he's in the interview, you should ask him to explain it. He knows a lot about it, but he didn't get one this game. So
I hope you
I'll-
notice a huge look of concern on my face.
I'll write that
good.
down.
It's probably
I'll write.
Yeah, it's probably best we maybe don't know what that is. But thank you guys for coming in and doing the interview here. We are gonna have to wrap this one up and move on to getting DDFC in this call. Sorry to like shoehorn you out and
No, you're
everything, and
good.
push you
It's all
away.
good.
All right,
But
awesome.
Thank you
timing.
for having us.
Shout outs to Siva Gunner.
True.
All right, I think we're
All right.
moving over to DDFC. If I remember, if I'm correct, that would be the second team, and it looks like we're going to be having JPEG and Mr. Wii Remote himself popping into the VC. How are you guys doing? How did the maps feel? How was it after the third map?
Really good. They had us in the first half. I'm not gonna lie, but we brought it back around. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Mm-hmm.
During
Yeah.
that, I really need to ask, during that second map, you guys had 5 minutes to hold last, and you were able to do it, like barely by like just very, very close. How was it, especially in the comms? How was like the energy in those last couple of minutes, especially in those last like 3v3 fights, defining who was going to win that map and inevitably going into your favor?
All I know is that I said lots of things, like in very rapid succession, and my beautiful, beautiful team they followed through with my instructions, and it was glorious.
Oh yeah, I was definitely not. The only call-outs I was given is the shots and damage I was taking, and the damage I was doing to the other players, and that's basically all my call-outs were. So I wasn't really doing much talking. I was just doing call-outs.
Fog Blow Stick's like secret technology on Sniper is the reason we won those games. I'm saying it now.
You guys
Yeah, and I
started
was
gaining faith in it as the game.
I was gonna say, using the Wii Zap or just the remote?
just a Wii remote and a nunchuck, and that's it.
He's got the nunchuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
this is
I didn't
that's
know
exactly what I
nunchuck
used to
was part
rock.
of
I
that.
respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, I got a code from I got the TF2 like Wii remote code from another TF2 YouTuber little while ago, and he beat me to the idea. I had the idea of playing TF2 with a Wii remote, and then his video came out like 2 weeks after I came up with the idea, and I was like, oh crap! So I hit him up, and he was like, yeah, and he gave me the code, and then I was like, Seasonalander's coming up. I'm gonna play in Seasonalander with a Wii remote.
That's glorious. Key theme though, at the end of the day, did you guys have fun? How are you guys? How was like the? Did you guys have fun? Did you enjoy it? And I mean, going into tomorrow, what are you guys thinking about? Anything you guys either want to change or look forward to, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, I had lots of fun. I'll start there. I like that.
I
magnetic
wonder
energy a
why.
bunch.
The average like 51% beam.
My
Yeah,
beautiful little medic following me around. It was so wonderful.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun. Personally, I was quite surprised on how many shots I was hitting, especially on the sniper, which is with Cyber. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Playing for sure. I think the hardest player to go against was definitely Raw as Spy because I can't turn around too easily. So if there's Spy behind me, I just accept it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I
Yeah.
think I saw you. It might have been the other sniper, but I think I saw you on Razorback like later into the games. Might have been
Oh
you, the
yeah.
other sniper. I'm not sure, but
No, I ran SMG the entire time, so it was the other sniper.
I
Which is
should.
funny because you needed the Razorback the most if you can't turn around at all.
Yeah, I was like, whatever. Like, I think I pulled out my SMG like it's solid 3 times because like no one really went up into my face. So I just
Mhm.
like sat in, especially in the third map. I just sat in the back in the third map the most and was able to pick off people one by one.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and then the first map that was the King of the Hill one. I mainly played like bottom shack, and then the second map I mainly played cart.
Yeah, I'm glad you were pushing the cart because I certainly wasn't.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I have nothing to do. Like, I might as well sit on cart and get the points. And I top scored on blue team. So
He got more points than me. He got more points than everyone.
True.
yeah, I was top scoring on the when we were playing on blue and
I mean,
the
you
payload
only
match.
win payload if the card is pushed to last. So,
Yeah,
like, I mean, the backbone of the team,
Mhm.
effectively.
yeah.
I was gonna say, Aki or anyone have anything else?
I don't think I have any more questions for these guys. I think you kind of covered all the bases there. So I think we'll have to wrap up this interview here. Of course, thank you guys for like actually doing the interview, and of course for coming out and playing as well. It was some fantastic games watching you guys play. Watching you just mow everyone in your way down, JPEG. I mean, you were a one-man army, so
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it was a great watch. But
Mhm.
yeah, happy you guys had fun. Of course, thank you for doing the interview and coming out. And that's probably going to do it for this post game interview.
All right, sounds
Yeah, of
good.
course.
Have a good one. See you later.
Shout out to everybody for donating.
Yeah,
True,
shout out.
true. We hit 1400. True,
We did.
true.
Holy crap!
Yeah, you guys
Let's
pressed the goal.
go.
That's good
True.
stuff.
Let's go.
Well,
I was
the
surprised.
$10 from Phil
Not even
to
the
push it
first game, we
over.
already hit the goal. It's amazing.
But I
Yeah.
mean, we're at
And we're only going
25
further. We're only going further.
True. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, of course.
Cyber Wizard, take them out back, but like in a chill way.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well,
No.
I guess now that this post game interview is over, that unfortunately for the cast means that this stream too will soon end as well. But don't worry, it's not the end of Seasonalander just yet. We have tomorrow, the playoffs day, where you can continue to donate to the Starlight Children's Foundation. Again, link in the bottom right corner of your screen or QR code in the top left, ! donate in chat if you are interested in getting a direct link to the Tiltify page. If if you are able to donate, I highly encourage you to. We've already reached $1,400 raised for the charity on just day one alone. So if we're able to keep up that momentum for day two, we will pretty much be able to go almost 500 over the goal if we're able to keep up that same momentum. But yeah, I think that will probably do it for us today. I've been Eki. I don't have anything else to say. So BBL, the rest of this is, however you want to sign us
I
out.
was
You
gonna
can
say the
sign
rest
us
of this
out.
is mine. I could say whatever I want. Oh boy, I got pages. Give me about none of it. But no, I mean it was great. Thank you. I was gonna say this is my first time casting a charity event, so I've only done it on my channel before. I'm doing advanced grands on Monday, by the way. Just thought I'd say that over there. But anyways, I'll leave it at that. I was gonna say that's about it for me. Thank you guys so much for donating, and I mean I really hope we can hit the goal tomorrow. We can hit the goal tomorrow. We can definitely hit the goal tomorrow. So thank you guys for being here. But that's all. That's also it for me. So I mean, I think we're about to disappear soon. But thank you guys for being here so much, and see you tomorrow.